Since 1995, Alabama's sports talk leader, Tiger Communications, proudly presents SportsCall. It's time to join our SportsCall crew as they discuss the latest headlines and happenings around Auburn and the entire sports world. To be part of the show, give us a call at 334-887-3401 locally or toll free at 1-888-9-TIGER-9. We're taking phone calls all show long and want to talk about whatever you've got on your mind. And now, coming to you live from the loveliest village on the plains, Auburn's first and Auburn's favorite sports talk show, Sports Call.
Welcome, Auburn, into the Tuesday edition of Sports Call, live on Tiger 95.9, the Tiger.fm, the Tiger Communications app, and streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. Ryan Lavoie, the host of the program, with you here today, and I'm joined by Tom Peavy and Brooks Childress this afternoon for the full 3 hours today. Coming up, we will talk a whole lot of football. We'll continue to talk some Auburn fall camp items as we get closer and closer to the season commencing. We'll talk many things in the world of college football, and we'll also talk number 8 in our preseason SEC media rankings. The Tennessee Volunteers will be up today. We will talk about them towards the end of the program. Might sneak a little Braves in, might sneak a little golf in. We'll see what else the show brings, but a lot of football for you here on this Tuesday edition of the program. If you want to give us a phone call today, 334-887-3401 locally, or toll free 1-888-9-TIGER-9 is the number to reach us here this afternoon. Ryan Lavoie, Brooks Childress, Tom Peavy with you here today. Tom Peavy, how are you doing, sir?
Oh man, doing great. Trying to avoid the outside as much as I can because it was especially hot today. I know off air you were talking about going and playing golf earlier this morning. I didn't do that, but just trying to go to the grocery store at 9:30. I get in my truck and my temperature in there at 9:30 says it was 95 degrees. I was like, oh boy, yeah, that's not fun.
One of those days.
Yeah. One of those days when it's
getting work done all day today. Had a great weekend. Want to once again say congratulations to all those that graduated from Auburn or any other universities this weekend or this coming up weekend or weekend before, whenever those graduations are for summer. Congratulations to all of them. My wife, a graduate now, a second-time graduate of Auburn University, this time with her master's degree. So we had a big fun weekend at the house and around. Her family came into town. My parents came into town. My brother came into town this on Sunday. So there it is.
Applause for her. Congratulations.
So we had a big weekend with the whole family down. So it was tiring, obviously, when you've got a lot of people to entertain, but it was good. It was a very, very good weekend. So congratulations to everybody. Congratulations to her on earning that master's degree. And yeah, Tom, you mentioned the Braves' struggles with the Mets this year. This is the first time the Mets have won the season series against the Braves since 2017. They did it last night with that win. So, and I think this is the last time the Braves see the Mets in the regular season this year. And well, the Mets have been
4-7 already. Got 2 more, and that should be it.
Yeah. And how the Mets are playing, they won't see them in the postseason. So, their record. And so this was the last time you see the Mets until 2027. Spring training, maybe if it happens, probably not. Maybe sometime, August or ever. But yeah, so the Braves have struggled with the Mets this year for some reason, even though they've had their number the last few years. So that was a little disappointing last night. But as you mentioned, Ryan, football creeps closer and closer. We're getting closer. Thursday? We've got our first full week of NFL preseason kicking off, and so that's going to be fun to get that little taste, and then just a few more weeks until we have live college football back on our TVs. And so I'm excited, very, very excited for that. And hopefully cheering on the kids from Phoenix City with this Little League World Series, hopefully run as they go here. And as you mentioned, a weather delay, but hopefully that gets sorted out soon with some weather moving through their tournament area. But that's always fun. I always love the Little League World Series time of year, because it's
one,
it means that football is right almost here, because it's like the last thing that ESPN does before they launch into football is their Little League World Series. But it's just fun to see the kids, showcase on a national TV and national stage, and you even though you have no relation to them, and it's just like any other sport, you feel a little bit more emotions toward them, because like it hurts them so hard. Like if they mess up, or if they have a game-winning hit, or if they game losing error or something, you see them in tears, and you feel as bad, if not more bad for them than you do some of the big leaguers, because they're out there playing for the love of the game, and they're it's such a fun time. But yeah, that's going on, and we're having a great time here. Hopefully, even though he was hot today on the golf course, hopefully Ryan Lavoie is doing good as well today.
Yeah, I'm cooler now than I was. I told Tom, he shared the 9:30 that I got in the car at 11 after finishing, and it was like 100. And then going out to lunch today at 1 o'clock, it was 106. That feels like obviously not 106 actual degrees, but again, just what the feels like can get, especially when you get those hot interior cars and that sort of thing. So yeah, no, nice and toasty. Don't really see an end in sight. One weather note beside the obvious of the hot, there's for the first time a wave off the coast of Africa that is thinking about tropical development. Way out there. Impossible to tell you which way it would go right now, but first time monitoring the tropics for 2026. Again, that's still a couple weeks away from having any impacts, and again, who the heck knows? May never even become anything. May become a huge one. May hit land. May not.
Yeah, a lot of those coming off the coast of Africa will get kind of close, and they'll turn north and go up to the North Atlantic.
Yeah,
but some of them do keep on chugging this way. I don't know what the forecast outlook of the tropics are this year. If the water is extremely warm, which is going to make for developing, and the El Nino or La Nina or whatever thing that has to do with stuff. Who knows? I
try not to pay too much attention into it, because it is a good guide, but also it underperforms and overperforms the predictions all the time.
Sure.
So, but we're getting, it's a nice little reminder that the next 3 months are the main months of tropical season: August, September, and October. So, hopefully nothing of importance, but first time you got a little red X with a high development chance from the National Hurricane Center. So I was watching that, but otherwise, doing all right and ready to get started here. We're going to talk a lot of college football today. Don't have a ton on the agenda per se, other than, again, want to make sure we talk about the Tennessee Vols towards the end of the program. Again, going to preview them as they are right in the middle of the SEC projections this year at number 8. But we're going to start with some Auburn stuff as usual. Again, fall camp continuing. They've now been at it for about a week. I do want to slide in this quick little nugget that I saw. If there's any holdovers on the camp of what is Auburn doing with the hotel in Opelika at the RTJ, and if that's incredibly abnormal. Saw today Ohio State doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. So if Ohio State's going to do it, I'm not saying it's always monkey see, monkey do, but if Ohio State's doing it, I think that you are well within the sense of normality to operate that way. But again, about halfway through this thing now with fall camp, because they were going to be out there 13 days, and they left last Wednesday, I believe. So about halfway through it. And again, I will say that just trying to monitor the videos, because, again, I have not necessarily been out there myself, but obviously they've had the viewing windows early in the morning. I think that some of the standouts have been maybe at wide receiver, maybe talking about some of the defensive players. I know there was a video this weekend that some I felt were misinterpreting about offensive line. There was that huge drill. I don't know if you saw this. There's this huge. I don't know if we call it a sled or what.
Oh, they're pushing the sled.
Yeah,
sled
pushing the sled. And so, it was a good elongated video, and it appeared that those guys were not executing that drill very properly. So it incited some typical social media banter, I'll say.
Sure.
I don't think that is an indicator that this line cannot be physical and block, but for the sake of that drill, obviously the coaching staff was not thrilled with the majority of their work. They were not getting the right technique and blasting into that sled. So
when I watched those videos and you could hear the first thing you saw was just kind of this exasperation from the O-line coach of just because it's just like, violent. He's like, get violent. And they were just kind of, it would like hit it with their head first and then hit with the hands. And he's like, no, I need you to be violent. And they just weren't getting, kind of got an exasperated look on his face. And then you hear him one time, he goes, I think he probably said a cuss word.
He did.
And he was like, we are so soft. And that's where everybody jumped on, is like, oh boy.
Yeah.
And so does that mean the offensive line is soft? No. Maybe they're just, like you said, not getting in that drill.
Yeah.
But
they're big guys that hit people hard. They're never going to be told, oh, guys, you did such a great job with that drill.
Right.
Good for you. Like that. I'm not saying that they did a great job with that drill. Clearly, they were not doing for 80% of that video
Right.
what the purpose of it was. But I think what it leads to conversationally of more substance than just, a coach chewing out some offensive line members. The substance is that this is a nice reminder. The offensive line, I think, will go a huge way in determining their offensive success this year, because I think that they have the pieces in place at running back, at receiver, and of course with Byron Brown to have the ability to get this thing going. And look, I will say, dating back to some of our SEC Media Days conversations we had a few weeks back in Tampa, I think you heard some good stuff from the likes of Justin Ferguson and company that were talking about, well, even though we will never encourage having a middling offensive line, this system sometimes does take it out of the hands of the offensive line.
Yeah.
And the meaning there is the RPO part, where you're looking at the quick pass part, and you're looking at the quick outside screens and quick stuff towards the boundary. Whereas, of course, if you want to have the rushing success on the run part of that RPO, you will need that offensive line, obviously, then. So, again, I'm not campaigning for, hey, guys, we don't need to have a good offensive line. Not my intent. My intent is that this system is not a system, theoretically, that should set itself up to be sacked in the way that Jackson Arnold was sacked, waiting for deep routes down the field to develop. And also a quarterback in Byron Brown that is used to making these quick decisions in this offense.
Right. Well, and it's an offensive system that is set up. And yes, like you said, it kind of does not rely on just an absolutely overpowering offensive line. It can get around that because it spreads out so much that it prevents teams from loading the box, which then puts pressure on the offensive line to pick up blitzes and different things like that, which they're still going to get, but you're not going to get as much because they can't just put so many guys in the box. And then it's set up that way so that if you do put them in the box, then you just quick hit her out to the outside. You have a one-on-one wide receiver blocking, and there's nobody out there. That's kind of how that's designed. And so and you have a quarterback that can pick that up and read that with the what the defense is giving them. And this, I feel like, is definitely one of those offenses that's going to kind of take what a defense gives them. If they want to try to put some guys in and squeeze in from the numbers, then they're going to fire it out real quick to the outside and go. If they spread it way out and they give up that middle, then they're going to do RPO and run it down their throat. So, I think it's a good offense to have. It's they're going to kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't type on the defensive side of what they make people do. So I like it. However, though, you do still have to have the physicality at the offensive line because we saw this several times last year with the offensive line, not just last year, but a couple other times where a 3-man rush was getting back onto the quarterback. And we're all sitting there just like, how are these teams rushing 3 and getting dudes in the backfield with 3? That's just unacceptable in any form of football. But defense would rush 3 or 4 and find a way to get into the backfield. And for Auburn's sake, you can't have that. You have to be physical. You have to get it done up front. I get it. You don't have to be first round All-American type offensive lineman. But you got to be physical, and you can't let just easy pass rushes get by you and just disrupt everything.
The folks that want to take that one clip from practice and run with it and say, oh, what's wrong with the offensive line, have clearly never been to a football practice in their lives, because you could be having the best practice of your life and the coach is still going to yell at you to do something. They're still going to yell at you to correct something, and that's what they're there for. That is the coach. Now, the clip obviously not doing 100%, and it's a little bit over the top, but if let's go back, just a week ago to Alex Golish's opening presser. He started out like his opening statement, I believe. If it was not, it was one of the early questions. He said, quote, "There's going to be ups in this camp. There's going to be downs in this camp. There's never a perfect camp. You go to Alabama, you go to Ohio State, you go to Indiana, you go to Oregon. There are days that their offensive lines, their wide receivers, their quarterbacks look like they are just awful, because that's just practice. That's a day. That's why you're at practice, and that's why you're getting better at practice. We talk about practice.
Oh boy.
And so the thing is you've got, you have 13 days here in fall camp, plus the next days after fall camp, the couple weeks after fall camp, before you actually play a football game to get things ironed out and everything. And so you are going to have days that coaches are yelling at you and you feel like you can't do anything right, and you may not be able to do anything right. But it's not the end of the world. It's part of football practice for you to get yelled at. It's part of football practice for you not to be on the very top of your game. I guarantee you, Tom Brady, Cam Newton, Peyton Manning, Aaron Donald, I'll throw in some defensive players, Aaron Donald, J.J. Watt, have all been at practices in their careers that they got yelled at for not competing at the highest level. It's just part of it. It's part of being human and playing football. I don't care how motivated you are and how good you are. It happens. And so I'm not too worried about that. The practice clip. It's one clip from a 90 minute to 2 hour practice. I'm sure if we had the practice film, we would like, and went through it and we're able to look at it like the coaches do. We would like more stuff that we'd see than we dislike out there.
They talking about like video clips and what you can glean from that. There was a video clip that I saw of the Arizona Cardinals practicing. If you're a Cardinals fan, hey, the Cardinals may be garbage this year, who knows? But it was about a 3 or 4 minute video of compilation from camp of just errant pass. And I mean, not like slightly off. I mean, just not even in the ballpark of the receiver, bad passes. And then receivers right in their hands and dropping passes. I mean, it was drop pass, bad pass, drop pass, drop. 3 to 4 minutes of just some of the most god-awful quarterback to wide receiver stuff that you'll ever see in your entire life. That doesn't mean that the Cardinals are going to be crappy. It was a 3-minute video.
I can tell you, and Jack, who I cannot see behind me, will probably agree, the Cardinals will be awful this year.
And that's why I prefaced that. I said the Cardinals may be bad. They just may be terrible, but still, it was like a 3-4 minute video of just like I said, some of the most god awful stuff you could imagine. That doesn't mean that that's what's happening every single time. There's just, but then again, maybe it was. I don't know.
I talk about it sometimes on the Bucks show that I do, and it's about posting videos about an agenda. Like, what is your agenda 3 to 4 weeks out from the season, and on what players? So what I mean by that, you can take the same clip. Because what struck this was there was a clip of a rookie for the Buccaneers having an incredible catch over who the Bucks' number 1 corner is going to be this year. And I said, you could have that video be sent out by 2 different people. Mm-hmm. The first person is like, look at Ted Hurst, this wide receiver. Oh my goodness, they just found Mike Evans 2.0. And you just show a bunch of Ted Hurst stuff, but you show that particular clip and it shows you that, oh, wow, this is something Mike Evans would have done. And then another person takes the same clip and says, wow, Zion McCollum, the number 1 corner for the Bucks, is trash. a rookie is already mossing him.
Mhm.
Oh boy, they're going to get skewered week 1 by Joe Burrow, and they may. But the point is that you can take the same clip and have an agenda 2 different ways. And again, this was just going up against a huge sled, a 300, 400 pound sled, whatever it is. And so, there's not an opponent to go at. But the point is that we only get to analyze 12 games guaranteed of 3 to 3.5 hours, okay, of 120 plays a game times 12. That's all we get. They practice far more than that, and they do far many more things than that. So whatever you see on Saturdays, you get a lot more of over the course of a month of practicing, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent. Yeah. And I think I always say that with the good stuff. I feel like, well, everyone loves what they're doing this time of year. But when you do see something bad, I think it's just being honest. I think it's just being real. And it doesn't mean that translates on Saturday, September the 5th. What it means is that you're saying that, it's not all social media savvy, Instagram approved, 100% perfect. Because as Brooks said, Brooks has been in those practices. He's filmed those practices. Those are not, we have had many discussions. I'm talking for him, but he just said it. Those are not perfection. This team looks like they'll beat, an NFL team type practices, that it never goes that way. And you know what? Sometimes when it does, it's actually a bad sign because it's not going to go that way on Saturday. And then what are you going to do about it when you get punched?
You talking about the videos and how you relate and how you can describe them. One that just jumped in my head because we talked about it very briefly yesterday, that kind of now viral video of Cam Coleman making that catch over the weekend with Texas.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of those people that are just like, oh my gosh, that's one of the most amazing catches I've had. But then you have other people going, yeah, but who threw the ball? Why was that pass so bad that he had to make that catch?
Yeah. Is that Arch? The backup?
Because, the ball was obviously not thrown where it needed to be. It was a terrible throw, and he made just a stupidly good catch.
Yeah.
But, that's how that video has been taken. Oh, my gosh, what a great catch. But then –
wait a minute.
Yeah.
Who threw that?
If you turn the camera to the other way, let's say we never saw the catch and the camera was on the quarterback. You would then, if that throw was so off, you'd then see the coach going in and talking to the quarterback like, hey, man, you got to put it on. You got to
step into it, get the footwork right. Yeah.
So there's the tale of two videos. Is one, we saw the play. We got the video of the catch. We're like, oh, my gosh, it's the best thing. But if you flip it around, the coach is over there just giving it to the quarterback saying, you've got to put it on. Don't make him go make that catch.
Yeah, don't make him have to reach behind his body and everything. Because with a defender there, that might be an interception.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's that, or Cam gets crunched.
Just
going over the middle.
Yeah, you just gave him a what do they call it? Not a medicine ball.
Hospital ball.
Hospital ball.
Yeah,
hospital ball.
I'll be the coach right now. I'll walk in there and say, hey, listen, we're in practice. We have man on man here. They're going to put 2 guys on him, and that's an interception. As you said, they're gonna double team him every time. You got to put it on him because that's an interception if you don't.
Really, all this means is that we're so desperate and hungry for football. We're trying to break down things that really shouldn't be broken down. That means we're close. Yes. A few weeks, we can do it. All right, let's take our first time out here of the program today. You are listening to the Tuesday edition of Sports Call live on Tiger 95.9.
Sports Call has been on the air since 1995.
Weather brought to you by Auburn University Credit Union. Looking for the best credit card rate in town? The rate on Auburn University Credit Union's MasterCard starts at 7.9% APR. That's right, 7.9% APR. For more information or to apply, visit one of their 3 locations or myaucu.org. Annual percentage rate. Auburn University Credit Union is an equal opportunity lender.
High temperatures today into the low to mid 90s. We will see mostly sunny skies. Again, the typical afternoon summer setup with a few spots getting wet. About 20% of the area seeing a scattered shower or thunderstorm. Lows into the mid 70s overnight, and tomorrow the really exact same thing. Highs in the low 90s. We'll see mostly sunny skies except for a few scattered showers and thunderstorms, and lows again into the mid 70s. I'm Ryan Lavoie for your Tiger Communications weather update.
Frederick Dean Funeral Home and Crematory is here for you when you need us. With locations in Lee, Chambers, and Tallapoosa counties, serving the people of East Alabama and West Georgia since 1900. A family-owned and operated business, skip the hassle of the big corporate mortuaries. Our kind, compassionate team members are standing by to assist your family in the hardest of times. An on-site crematory, private cemetery, and a choice of facilities makes Frederick Dean unique. Visit us at frederickdean.com.
TK's convenience stores have a brand new look. That's right. Look for the red, white, and blue. It's Arco, American-owned top-tier gasoline, now at select TK's locations. Need great gas at a great price? TK's and Arco have you covered with the best price gas in town. American-made fuel for you and your family. So roll into your neighborhood TK's today, where TK's and Arco are as American as apple pie.
Now I need your help to get back to the year 1985.
Check out the Flashback Lunch, weekdays from noon until 1 on the Tiger. We're playing 80s, postmodern, retro, and more. The Flashback Lunch on Tiger 95.9.
Like, I love those classics. Those are great.
From the very beginning in 1907, Auburn Bank's mission has been to promote our community, see businesses flourish, and improve the livelihoods of local citizens. We have operated a simple and straightforward business model built on a foundation of sound business decisions and a caring response. Our local team stands ready to discuss your financial needs and goals. Auburn Bank, champions of you. Member FDIC. Online at auburnbank.com.
It's heating up at Sons Ford in Auburn with the hottest sale of the year. Now's the time to save big on a huge selection of new Ford trucks, SUVs, and cars. Whether you're looking for a rugged F-150, a family-friendly Explorer, or a fuel-efficient Escape, you'll find incredible deals waiting for you. Don't let these summer savings pass you by. Visit Sons Ford in Auburn today or shop online at sonsford.com and pick the Ford you've been wanting at a price you'll love. Sons Ford in Auburn, where the hottest deals of the year are happening now.
I'm Britt Bowen, voice of Auburn women's basketball and Auburn softball. You're listening to Sports Call on Tiger 95.9.
Welcome back. This is the Tuesday edition of Sports Call, Tiger 95.9, the Tiger.fm, and the Tiger Communications app. Ryan Lavoie, Brooks Childress, and Tom Peavy with you here this afternoon, hanging out as we get closer and closer to the football season. And a reminder, again, we will have a very short show on Friday, about a 50-minute show or so, because the Atlanta Falcons have their first preseason game right here on Tiger 95.9. Their game time is 6 o'clock, so their air time is 4 o'clock, so we'll be off air prior to then on Friday. So just enough time to even have a show in the first place. But we got full 3 hours today, tomorrow, and Thursday. Then also next week, we'll be getting into high school football season. We'll have our coaches show returning next Wednesday from Waldo's Chicken and Beer. And on Friday, we will have Border on High School football returning right here on Tiger 95.9 and the East Alabama Game of the Week on FM Talk 93.9. Brooks Childers will be doing play-by-play again for that. So we look forward to high school football season kicking off here on the airwaves of Tiger Communications next week.
And we are fired up, and our announcement for our Game of the Week is coming up later this week. So stay tuned for that on social medias.
There you go. All right, let's get to our first phone call of the program today, 334-887-3401 locally or toll-free 1-888-9-TIGER-9. First up, we have
Anthony from Auburn.
Anthony joining us. Anthony, how are you doing today?
Good today. You guys?
Doing all right.
Cam Coleman, I tell you, I saw that on somewhere on social media when he made that catch. I tell you, that was something. I mean, could this be the kind of season that he might have a special year that he might mess around and pull in that Heisman Memorial Trophy?
I doubt that just because of how tough it is for wide receivers. They've also got a couple of other great ones there.
And a great running back.
There's a lot to spread around at Texas, so I don't think any one player, as good as Cam is, because I think Cam is great, as good as he is, I don't think he can separate into that 1,500, 1,600-yard season you would have to be in Heisman contention.
Well, you got 12 games. If you get 100 yards a game and some change, it could possibly happen. I ain't going to count him out. Making catches like that in crucial situations and winning some big games and making some noise, that very well could happen because you don't know what everybody else is going to do. You don't know who they may or may not have to go to or who might be the man. But this is certainly one-of-a-kind generational type talent. I saw him a time or two when he was over at Phoenix City over there in Central. When he played, he reminded me of a Julio Jones, so to speak. I've even called on the radio show. We talked about that he had the similarities that big, but might have been a step or two faster or whatnot for his speed, maybe not, but definitely had better hands, it appeared to be. We'll see what he does at Texas. I mean, he transferred out there for a reason. I mean, y'all had him and didn't have sense enough to get offensive line nor a quarterback. I don't know who called himself doing recruiting. Have stud horse of that caliber wide receiver and couldn't get the tools or players around him to do what needs to be done because that guy should still be at Auburn. This should be his junior year at Auburn. He should already be an All-American going into this year, all-conference and all that. I mean, Biletnikoff winner too. He should be, but that didn't pan out because it didn't have the supporting cast to help the young man. That's why he left. And everybody got all upset over it. But, I mean, that's the business decision. That man's going to be should be a first-round pick if everything goes as planned this year. But I'm not going to count him out. I mean, we'll see what he does. But get on the right track with a good genius mind, a Sarkisian guy. Maybe this guy may get the numbers he needs. Or maybe sometimes it ain't all about numbers. Maybe it's just about appearance. Maybe if he just makes certain catches at certain times and wow people and wow the voters, that might be all you need. You know what I'm saying?
Well, here's the thing. Cam Coleman, there was a lot of stuff that could have been done, I think, different. But there were also times that Cam Coleman underperformed here as well. I mean, he was not perfect by any stretch. He was good. Don't get me wrong. He was very, very good. And Auburn would definitely love to have had him back here. But, he had some times where he didn't do stuff himself, and the team did not do enough around him. So it's kind of a combination of both. And I think he was suited better to go to Texas.
Well, yes, sometimes. But, that's just how it is sometimes. You got people around you playing poorly. The morale's down. Quarterback ain't doing nothing. The offensive line ain't doing nothing. The running back ain't doing nothing. The coaches ain't doing nothing. I mean, and you're losing. I mean, who's going to be too excited about that? Everything going in the wrong direction. But I'm not going to badmouth him because the guy made, like I say, he made it a business decision. That's what football all is about today, is making business decisions that couldn't be made years ago. If you tried to transfer years ago, you had to sit out a year, or even if you transfer within the conference, they could make you sit out 2 years. Made it harder for a player to transfer. So it didn't make no sense to transfer 30 or 40 years ago, just because of the whole method of doing it. But we'll see what this young man does. But I do believe that he's going to mess around and get in that conversation. Possibly could, depending on what games, Texas get in on national television. I hadn't looked at their schedule, but I'm pretty sure LSU, Oklahoma, A&M, and Georgia, or whoever else is going to be on that schedule. It's conference slate, 9 games. We'll see what this young man does. But if he can get him 100 yards and some change every game and make touchdowns in crucial situations and win some games, pull away from some people, make a difference, make some spectacular catches like he made yesterday, then we'll see. Very well could be. Might not need 1,600 yards or 15. Might could get it with 13 or 14, but we'll see how the season goes, how everybody else performs and what they do and what they lead their team to,
Yeah.
All that'll tell. Huh?
I think I agree, with his decision to go to Texas. So, I don't badmouth him. I'd love for him to have still been here at Auburn, but I kind of look at it as one of those, realistically, he's got this year and he's going to get drafted. And so why be here when there's the unknown with the unknown system, unknown, at least to him, quarterback and, things like that. And I can go to Texas and I got Arch Manning there and I've got, this type of system that it made sense. And he could position himself to win a championship. What should be his last year unless something crazy happens. So no, I don't blame him. I wish he would have stayed, but I don't blame him at all.
It should be. We'll see. But let's say you ain't gonna give him the Heisman Award. You gonna give him that?
Well, the best receiver in the country is Ohio State's Jeremiah Smith, and he goes into this year as, one of the top 5 picks in the draft. He's insane. Now, again, Cam, we've not really been able to see the entirety of what he can do, but also to what Tom was saying a little bit too is last year he has the fumble in the Iron Bowl. He drops passes against Missouri, drops a touchdown. He's still got things that he is working through also, and yeah, it could be just about being part of a better team and culture and that sort of thing. But I think that the clear number one across the country going into this year at that position is Jeremiah Smith. And then you talk about what Cam could do, what Ryan Coleman Williams is going to do, that sort of thing.
Well, anybody, the best drop passes. Jerry Rice dropped a pass or two. Lynn Swann, but y'all wouldn't probably know anything about Lynn Swann.
Well, I do.
In the prime of his life.
I'm old enough to remember Lynn Swann.
But I saw Swann in the 70s. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
49.
Oh, well, I don't think you saw much of Lynn Swann if you're just 49. You might saw some highlights.
I saw enough.
You caught some highlights and saw the last, maybe the last year of his career. But back in 74, I wouldn't think you'd be around then.
No.
In those early to late 70s when he was actually a driving force at that point. You weren't around then, but anyway, I saw him and the man was in his prime. Right. But anyway, we'll see what Cam Coleman does. Maybe he does step up and have that breakout year, being surrounded around the right kind of talent, the right atmosphere, the right coaching staff, the right offensive philosophy. Maybe he does do all those things that he needs to do and can be so celebrated at the end of the season. Maybe that other guy, maybe didn't work, and maybe not going to work that hard this time, Ohio State or whatnot. We'll see. Maybe he might be worried about just going pro and just taking it easy, being the first pick. So we'll see what he does too. We'll see what everybody does. In a few weeks, a lot of questions going to be answered. In the next 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks, coming up here pretty soon, and we'll get to see what is answered and what ain't. But I'm excited, looking forward to it. But guys, let me ask you one other thing. Well, how's y'all practice going? Y'all put the pads on yet?
Yeah, pads went on for the first time Saturday. They've had some offensive line videos that people weren't liking on social media. We talked about those in the first segment.
What was the problem?
Well,
what was the problem there?
Just huge. They had the big sled out, and they weren't
they weren't attacking it the way the coach wanted to attack.
Coaches yelling at them and that sort of thing. But that's pretty standard. I don't think coaches rub your tush and say you did a great job just because you executed a drill well. So
maybe they need to do a few grass drills. Burgess will give you some grass drills and some gases to try to fix that problem. Give you some one-on-one or call you out on the field there, some Oklahoma drills or something. Maybe that need to be done to fix that problem. To get somebody's attention.
Well,
Put them on the line and make them run.
As many reps as they were doing with that sled, as many reps as they were doing with that sled, it wore me out watching it. So you know about running gassers, those guys had to be exhausted after that, because I mean it was down the field until they were about off the sideline and turn around and go back the other way. And I mean it was over and over and over again hitting that sled and trying to push it.
But here's the thing, back in the old days, you would have ran the gases after you did that sled stuff you're talking about.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
That's what I'm talking. You'd after that sled stuff, you'd have ran the gases. Then after that, you'd have did grass drills. Yeah. After that, that's what you've done all that. So maybe somebody needs to do that. I mean, get somebody throwing up out there or something.
They may be doing
somebody's attention.
Yeah, they may be doing that just when the cameras aren't on. I mean, that we just saw a little glimpse. So I ain't no telling how many gassers and grass drills and running the hill and everything that they're making them do out there.
Well, I mean, we do know they do push-ups every single time they drop a pass, including Alex Golish. Head coach does them with them.
Yeah. You know, maybe get up in the morning and do some extra running. You know, just run. Somebody get diarrhea. But anyway, guys, I appreciate it. Y'all have a good one now.
You too, Anthony. That is Anthony from Auburn joining us on the Sports Call phone line. You know, again, I think that Cam will have a really good year at Texas. I don't know what the numbers will be. And one thing I would have added there in the conversation with Anthony too, that you have to consider, and we all know this to be true, it's very hard to find the situation where the wide receiver gets more glory than the quarterback, even if the wide receiver is special. It happened with Devontae Smith, obviously, a handful of years ago. But
didn't he also kick return too, though?
The punt return. I think. No.
Devontae Smith would have been the same one with Waddle. So Waddle was their main.
Yeah,
returner.
Waddle was the Waddle, and he was good, great returner too.
I was thinking for some reason I was thinking Devontae also returned.
No, I don't
see if I
think
can
so.
get his college stats.
I don't. Yeah,
so
I think Brooks right. I think Waddle did both actually. I think he returned kicks and punts. But
then it was definitely a weird.
Yeah, and again, my point was then going to become. It's Arch Manning throwing to him, whether it's fair or not. The media is going to attempt to give him all the praise for that.
Sure.
But there's a lot of mouths to feed in Austin. And that's also why their expectations are so high, because it's not just Cam Coleman. It's not even just Arch Manning. It's Hollywood Smothers, who you were referencing in the backfield. And it's Ryan Wingo, their number 2 receiver. That's fast as lightning, you know? And so it's like, they got a bunch of stuff. They don't have to go through just one avenue. And that's also the point I'm making with Cam. Cam might be good enough to put up insert yards here or insert touchdowns here, but they've got so many different options. They don't have to do it that way if they don't want to.
All right. I found, I was looking through. So the year that Devontae Smith won the Heisman, he did punt return.
Okay.
He had limited returns on kicks. He only returned 4 kicks for 52 yards. Punting, he returned 11, still not as many as you'd think, but for 237 yards and a touchdown.
Okay, so not very additive to that.
It was mostly receiver.
That sounds situational, like he was not the main punt return, but he returned certain games or certain moments in games. But
let's see Jalen Waddle stats.
What year was that?
That was
20.
Skipped out. Yeah, 20.
Okay.
I think Waddle got hurt during that season too, so that could have been part of that.
I just remember the 19 Iron Bowl. Waddle scored 8 million touchdowns in 8 million different ways, but fortunately Auburn scored 8 million and 1 points in that one.
Waddle that year in 2020 had that's his receiving yards. He definitely got hurt because he only had in 2020 he only had 2 returns for 13 yards and then 4 kick returns for 39 yards.
Yeah.
Prior to that, the year before, he had 20 punt returns for 487 yards and a touchdown, and then 5 kick returns for 175 yards and a touchdown.
They did a little bit of everything then. Yes, but I know your point, Tom, that usually another way to separate yourself from the quarterback is to do the return game or something along those lines. All right, let's take one final quick timeout here in hour number 1. You're listening to the Tuesday edition of Sports Call live on Tiger 95.9, the Tiger.fm, the Tiger Communications app, and streaming live on Facebook and YouTube at Sports Call Auburn.
your attention, please?
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention?
We're Auburn's first and Auburn's favorite sports talk show.
Hi, my name is. What? My name is. My name is.
Sports Call on Tiger 95.9.
Looking for great deals while supporting a great cause? Visit Lifesavers Mission Thrift Store, conveniently located on East University behind Zaxby's. We're open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 until 5 with a huge selection of furniture, clothing for the whole family, books, home decor, and so much more. Have items to donate? We'll gladly accept donations at the back of the store from 10 until 4. Shop, donate, and make a difference at Lifesavers Mission Thrift Store, where every purchase helps change lives.
Our Falcons play here.
What we do on the grass, what we do in this weight room, it's been fun to watch. A bunch of professionals.
It's a new team and a new season. Catch Falcons head coach Kevin Stefanski and our Falcons for game 1 of the preseason this Friday as our Falcons welcome in the Denver Broncos.
Atlanta Falcons football on WTGZ Tiger 95.9.
Life can get hectic. That's why Progressive provides claim support 24/7, 365 days a year, all the time. But not like in a desperate way. We're not just waiting online for you to talk to us or waiting by the phone. I mean, we are waiting by the phone, but not like staring at it. Well, now I am. I'm staring at it. The point is, Progressive claim support is here for you 24/7 in a totally chill, normal way. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, not available in all states or situations.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
Hey folks, dinner time just got a whole lot easier. Swing by Waldo's Chicken and Beer on South College Street and grab the family meal deal. We're talking a whole bucket of bird, plus those famous cheesy biscuits, fresh coleslaw, and 2 sides. Go creamy mac and cheese, collards, potato wedges, whatever feeds your flock. And hey, make it a Thursday thing. It's kids' night at Waldo's. Bring the family, hang on the patio, play a little golden tea, while the grown-ups kick back with a frozen Waldo Rita. Good food, happy kids, and a little time to relax. What more could you ask for? Waldo's Chicken and Beer, South College Street in Auburn.
When it comes to your roof, trust your local roofers. At Superior Roofing, we're more than a roofing company. We're your neighbors. For over 40 years, homeowners across Columbus, Auburn, Opelika, and surrounding areas have relied on our experience, craftsmanship, and commitment to treating every customer like family. Whether you need a repair, replacement, or inspection, we'll help you find the right solution for your home and budget. Superior Roofing, protecting what matters most, one roof at a time. Call Superior Roofing at 334-821-8411.
Follow Sports Call on Twitter at SportsCallAU. Like us on Facebook at SportsCallAU.
Welcome back. This is the Tuesday edition of Sports Call, Tiger 95.9, the Tiger.fm, and the Tiger Communications app. Ryan Lavoie, Tom Peavy, and Brooks Childress with you here this afternoon. Just a couple minutes left here in hour number 1. I was trying to brainstorm when we need to do our last Town Name Tuesday and last Wacky Wednesday before football season starts. And obviously today will not be Town Name Tuesday, but need to think those up here. We're about to get busy.
Yeah.
Because Brooks wouldn't even be able to participate in a Wacky Wednesday starting next Wednesday.
That's right. High school coach shows back.
Yeah, setting up there.
We could do Wacky Wednesday with the coaches and say, here is a hot sauce. Answer these questions while you try it.
And also do Wacky Wednesday. Brooks buy us all the menu items at Waldo's, bring them here. And
that would be pretty wacky.
we would not be able to do it this year, obviously, but Michelle brought one up. She was like, do the garden next year and grow a whole bunch of pepper varieties and bring actual raw peppers in here.
Oh, no.
For us to eat.
Why?
I'm sure Michelle laughed after she suggested that one.
Evil, yeah. She rubbed her hands together. Because I grew some jalapenos that I was like, yeah, those aren't that bad. And just like, here, Michelle, you try one. And she was just like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fresh jalapenos, man. They're
good.
I do not like them. I think they're all bite, all
Really?
hot, no flavor. I'm a pickled jalapeno person. Just,
I like a good raw jalapeno.
I think I've had fresh jalapeno once, and I
that was good
yet
enough.
to do it again. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a no for me. Like when they're like super, it's the different shade of green and they're like harder,
right?
And it's like, it's because some places do it that way instead of having the pickled, and it's just a whole different ball game. And I'm such a no on that.
Could you imagine if we actually did that and I brought like a whole jalapeno pepper in here we all had to just eat a jalapeno pepper? Not a jalapeno, a habanero pepper.
Yeah.
Isn't what is the one that's like it is a jalapeno, but it's just aged? Is that chipotle or is that a habanero?
No, habanero is a whole different type
There's
of pepper.
there's one pepper that it's like it's just a jalapeno but aged.
Green pepper? No, red pepper? Red pepper?
I'm gonna look it up now.
I don't know.
I have the internet at my disposal.
But no, a habanero is just a whole different type of pepper that is much, much hotter than a jalapeno. That's like one of the hottest peppers there are.
Yeah, that's why they usually, when you see them on the menu, the wing sauces, they're usually like mango habanero. Got something to try to cut it a little bit, not make it as.
If you get at Hattie B's, they're
habanero oil.
Damn hot. Their damn hot is habanero.
Yeah.
Because their shut the cluck up is ghost pepper.
Oh.
And it's not cut with anything. I mean, it's
ghost pepper. Yeah.
It's just hot.
It's red jalapeno.
Yeah.
So if for a chipotle, so if you want chipotle, it is a red jalapeno that has been smoke dried, and that creates the chipotle.
Okay,
gotcha.
Not the restaurant.
Yeah,
the seasoning.
Yeah. Someone's like Moe's. No.
The actual pepper chipotle.
So so a red jalapeno, and then you take it and smoke dry it, and that makes a chipotle.
Sure.
All right.
Good to know.
Learn something new every day.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's the same thing with like ancho or something like that. So
no, that's a fish.
Anchovy.
Yeah. Yesterday it was about how fast certain animals run. Today it's about how different peppers. Yeah. So maybe we'll find a way to combine the two for Wacky Wednesday. But
how fast can you run away while eating a pepper?
Well, how fast can you run to the bathroom?
Yes. How much speed do you gain from eating a hot pepper? All right, out of time for hour number 1 of the program. Coming up in hour number 2, more football. A little bit later, we'll talk Tennessee Vols as they are number 8 in the preseason SEC media poll. We'll also try to squeeze in some other things like an update on Jackson Coyven. Tom mentioned him earlier, or briefly, I should say, yesterday in the show. But we'll try to get to a couple other things also. You're listening to the Tuesday edition of Sports Call on Tiger 95.9.
1 hour of our show is in the books. We've got more to come. Stay tuned for another hour of Sports Call right after the break.
You remember the burgers, you remember the buns, you even remember the ice, but you forgot the beer? Rookie mistake. Save the cookout by showing up with Blue Moon Belgian White. Its crisp, refreshing taste with Valencia orange peel and that iconic orange garnish turns an oops into an awesome. Because when the beer's this good, people tend to forget what you forgot in the first place. Blue Moon Belgian White, made brighter. Please enjoy responsibly.
Whether it's enjoying a night in with good friends and close family or having some fun in the great outdoors, don't forget to grab an ice-cold Coca-Cola from one of your 17 local TK's convenience stores. Every sip of an ice-cold, refreshing Coke helps make whatever you're doing memorable. With a variety of options to choose from, TK's has a Coke for every occasion. So stop by any one of your local 17 TK's convenience stores today and pick up an ice-cold Coca-Cola. TK's convenience stores, always there when you need us.
Looking for great deals while supporting a great cause? Visit Lifesavers Mission Thrift Store, conveniently located on East University behind Zaxby's. We're open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 until 5 with a huge selection of furniture, clothing for the whole family, books, home decor, and so much more. Have items to donate? We'll gladly accept donations at the back of the store from 10 until 4. Shop, donate, and make a difference at Lifesavers Mission Thrift Store, where every purchase helps change lives.
At Mid-South Bank, our banking philosophy is family comes first. You see, we're more than a safe place to put your money or get a loan. We're a place for you to put your trust. No matter what your financial needs, you'll come first every step of the way. Come in today at 519 East Glen Avenue or visit bankmidsouth.com to find out what the friendliest, most helpful bank in town can do for you. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
This fall, tune into savings at Jimmy's Car Stereo. With crisp autumn air and cozy drives ahead, make your rides even better with our top-of-the-line car stereos and accessories. From boom and bass to crystal clear sound, Jimmy's has the perfect upgrade to make your vehicle the ultimate fall soundtrack. Plus, make sure your football tailgate playlist is the best sounding on the plains with a new system from Jimmy's. Visit Jimmy's Car Stereo today at 908 Opelika Road in Auburn or online at jimmyscarstereo.com. Jimmy's Car Stereo, serving the community for over 30 years. The summer heat is here, and the best way to make sure you stay cool all season long is to give May Refrigeration a call. When your AC goes out or needs maintenance, May Refrigeration's technicians are trained and equipped to handle anything that comes their way. And don't forget, it's never a bad time to get your heating system checked, especially when you aren't using it. Give May Refrigeration a call today at 745-COLD. That's 745-COLD. So for quality customer service that you can count on every time, May Refrigeration, proudly serving the Auburn and Opelika area.
Weekdays from noon until 3 p.m. Join Tilly the Elder Emo for Flashback Lunch and all your favorite alternative rock in the afternoon. Only on Tiger 95.9 and on the Tiger Communications app. You're listening to Sports Call on Tiger 95.9 FM, WTGZ Tuskegee, Auburn.
Now, it's time for your Atlanta Braves morning update, presented by Tidal Wave Auto Spa. Get clean car happy at any of the 250-plus Tidal Wave Auto Spa locations today.
Braves drop game 1 to the Mets. I'm Barrett Salee, and this is your Braves Radio Network morning update. Tidal Wave Auto Spa is the official car wash of the Atlanta Braves and your go-to car wash destination all season long. Visit TidalWaveAutoSpa.com to find a location nearest you. The Mets put up 5 runs in the top of the first, including a grand slam off the bat of Brett Beatty that really set the tone as the Metropolitans topped the Braves 8-5 in game 1 of the 3-game set. Bryce Elder, not his best day. He took the loss, dropping to 8-7 on the season. 5 innings, 10 hits, 7 earned runs, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts in Bryce's first bad start since the All-Star break. It was a solid day for Drake Baldwin, 2 for 5 with a double and an RBI. Mauricio Dubon, a clutch 2-out RBI in the first as well. The Braves will look to even things up tonight. Just a really good pitcher, Nolan McClain on the mound for the Mets. He's 8-7, has a 3.51 ERA, 48 walks, and 151 strikeouts. Veteran Martin Perez going for the Braves. He's 7-6, has a 3.14 ERA, 40 walks, and 78 strikeouts. Ford leadoff show coming your way at 6:05 Central, and first pitch between the Braves and the Mets, 7:15 Eastern, 6:15 Central from Truist Park. You can hear all of it on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
You're listening to Sports Call on Tiger 95.9 FM, WTGZ Tuskegee, Auburn. Since 1995, Alabama's sports talk leader, Tiger Communications, proudly presents SportsCall. It's time to join our SportsCall crew as they discuss the latest headlines and happenings around Auburn and the entire sports world. To be part of the show, give us a call at 334-887-3401 locally or toll free at 1-888-9-TIGER-9. We're taking phone calls all show long and want to talk about whatever you've got on your mind. And now, coming to you live from the loveliest village on the plains, Auburn's first and Auburn's favorite sports talk show, Sports Call.
Second hour of Sports Call beginning right now. Tiger 95.9, the Tiger.fm, and the Tiger Communications app. Brian Lavoie, Tom Peavy, and Brooks Childress, who is giving the folks that are watching a little bit of a show, a little dance number right now. You should see him when he does the 99.9 KDFM middays from 9 to 1. If there's a song that comes on and he's not having to work, he'll dance to it. He don't care. He's built
moving and grooving.
Folks. So, yeah, again, appreciate everyone listening, however you may be listening. Also, you can check out the Sports Call podcast after the fact, presented by Coca-Cola. You now always get to see what we're drinking in here, I guess, too. And that's not a Coca-Cola product. Put that down. But that is a Coca-Cola product.
Not a sponsor, Tom.
Sorry.
We're trying. You should be sponsored by Mountain Dew, but we got the Coke Cherry Float.
You could hold it up to the camera, but cover the label and just say, "Oh, I'm drinking an indescript green drink," and people would know. But I've got the sponsor going over here.
Well, you were telling me that 7-Up is changing a product, which they are they same company as Dr. Pepper?
They are. Dr.
Okay.
Pepper, not Kroger. I said keep saying Kroger. It's Keurig.
Yeah, Keurig, Dr. Pepper, but they're coming out with a different version of 7-Up now.
It's going groundbreaking stuff. It's going from lemon lime to get this lime lemon. Whoa. Yeah. It's going to be more lime forward, apparently, to differentiate himself.
But Sprite's lemon lime.
Yep. And so is whatever the other one is.
Starry.
Yeah.
So, but Mountain Dew, we looked it up. Is it lemon lime, but with orange?
Yeah, it's lemon lime orange
is
what Mountain Dew is.
Did you know that, by the way, Tom?
I did not.
It's labeled as citrus. Well, because like all the labels just say, dew with. It's like, well, what is dew?
Yeah.
Dew. It's citrus, and it's citrus based, but it's all three. It's lemon, lime, orange. All three thrown in.
Moral of the story is I was hoping 7-Up was making a little bit of a radical change there, even if it did not sound that way off of just switching lime or lemon and lime. It does not sound like it's much of a radical change. But 7-Up has changed the formula. It'll be out in a couple of weeks, and maybe it will not be as bad as when we had the taste test.
New blind taste test.
Yeah, not time for a new taste test. What's the former and new 7-Up? Can you tell the difference?
Before we move on to our next topic, I want to ask: did y'all hear the story about the Arkansas high school football player?
Arkansas high school football player. Can't say that I have.
Does it have anything to do with Mountain Dew?
It does not.
All right, then no.
Or Coca-Cola.
It has to do with what was in his helmet.
Oh, I did see this, and
yes.
I had nightmares.
You should say this for those that don't know.
I hated every second of this story. Every second.
I'm reading the story here from NBC News. An Arkansas high school football player discovered a venomous snake in the helmet he was wearing during practicing for almost an hour last week.
Yeah.
So he was practicing for over an hour and he felt something move around in his helmet.
Yep.
So they took it off and found a 2-foot-long water moccasin, a cottonmouth.
Nope.
Yeah.
But behind the padding of his helmet that he had on his head for over an hour.
Nope.
Yes, that could have been really bad. The dude had a cottonmouth in his helmet for over an hour.
That's just
I would quit.
Yeah.
That's my last day of football.
I would drink a whole lot of Mountain Dew after that.
I've heard, and I know there's a documented case of it happening of people getting like one of those brown recluse spiders in their helmets and getting bit, and
or a black widow. They do that.
Like they'll get bit by those, and it's like that's easy to miss because it's a spider.
Yeah.
Oh, but no, this was a whole 2
yeah.
foot long cottonmouth.
I just want to know how. Like, how did you not notice it when you because you're putting on the helmet, you look at the padding as you're putting it on, right?
Well, it was behind the padding, I guess, but he may not have just looked. He may just grabbed his helmet up off the ground and threw it on his head.
The amount of times you put that thing on
and didn't realize that the snake had taken refuge behind the padding of his helmet. But had a whole 2 foot long cottonmouth on top of his head for over an hour.
I'm already irrationally scared that snakes are going to get into my house. Like, I can't imagine one being in a hat that I'm putting on.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
That's crazy.
Exactly.
The relationship I have with snakes is that I love them when they're behind the glass. Like, I think they're fun to look at, actually, and they're fascinating. If there's no glass to separate us, they're one of my least favorite things. So we'd always go to the zoo when I was young, and Mom would be very I don't say frustrated, disappointed of how much I like snakes and wanting to go through the indoor exhibit at the Birmingham Zoo much quicker than I would want to go through that.
Got to get done with that reptile
and
room quick.
She did not want to see them, period. And I would say, but there's glass. The glass is a very deciding factor for me. But if that happened where I was that close, and again, something that then, we're not talking rat snake,
right? No,
we're talking something that's going to cause damage, and and
especially to the head area.
Right? And to that angel, I mean, could be lethal depending on if you get a couple bites or what. That's nightmare fuel. He'll never. Good. I don't know. Did they interview the kid? Did you see?
I didn't see if they interviewed him or not. I just saw. I was seeing the story.
Yeah.
I don't mind snakes. Now, I don't like sneaking up on them or them sneaking up on me, whichever way. But like, if I know it's there, no, it's whatever.
Nope.
But say I was the crazy kid. I grew up next to a creek, and I was the crazy kid that would get down in the creek with my friends, find a snake, and get it on a stick. And I'm like, hey, Dad, what kind of snake is that? And he's like, that's a cottonmouth. You need to put it down. I'm like, oh gosh, throw it down.
Would he say it that calmly?
Like, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it was like, that's cottonmouth. You need to put that one down. I'm like, oh Lord. Then, I'd find a king snake, and we'd catch the king snake and hold it, and he would teach me all about the king snakes. And those are good snakes. They eat the bad ones and stuff like that. But yeah, just down in the creek playing around. I was like, oh, there's a snake. Get it on a stick. I'm like, hey, Dad, what is that one? Like that's a cottonmouth. Whoa.
Yeah. We grew up we had a small wooded pond on our property, and we were next to a creek that it kind of the pond flowed into the creek.
Mm-hmm.
There was cottonmouths. No, thank you.
Yeah.
There was rattlesnakes. No, thank you. There was one time we were in our field because Dad used to grow. They had one corner of our property that Dad used to grow not wheat, but he would let it grow up for the deer to eat.
Right.
And we were walking out there, and I'll tell you what, that's one of the scariest noises you can hear is the rattlesnake rattle, because you're close enough to trigger it, but you don't know where it is. And so that is that's terrifying.
It is. And again, there would definitely be a few at my grandparents' property, because they lived in the mountains of North Carolina. Have not had nearly as many at parents' residential.
Fair.
But yeah, it's just kind of a no for me.
Nope. I can't do snakes even on TV. Like if I see a snake on a TV, I'm like,
really?
I cannot sit there.
So you're not going to ever go see Anaconda.
You see, it's
different.
It's concerning, or it's not concerning.
Yeah.
It's quite a debate that I've had with myself, because I know it's not like a scary movie, like older Anaconda, like the actual horror movie Anaconda.
That's what I was referring to.
I
don't acknowledge the Jack Black.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. That's what I was like. I kind of want to see that, because it's not like
I assure you, it's not that funny. No. Yeah.
All right, then no.
It's not just funny. No, it's not like look at the anaconda. Oh,
Snakes on a Plane will never turn that on.
No, not even for the Samuel L. Jackson riveting performance.
No, I can
Huh?
I can get the I've heard the clip. I haven't seen
I've
it.
had it with these bleep
Snakes on this bleep plane. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen any. Quotes from the player. It's just from the high school and from the animal red folks that actually took the snake out of the helmet.
The only snake that I've been able to do ever was the like logos of teams, like Arizona Diamondbacks does not bother me.
Florida A&M.
Florida A&M doesn't bother me. But if you put a live snake in front of me, even if it's behind glass, I am moving through the reptile room to the turtles. Like I'm getting over to the turtles, the lizards. Let me get over there as quickly as possible.
I used to have to back when I worked at Moore's Mill Country Club, when I first came to Auburn and I was like the course marshal, I would get calls about snakes on the course and I'd have to go and find the snake on the green or wherever it was and shoo it off.
When the not the it's not anaconda, when the
Ryan is sitting there shaking his head like,
nope. That's not my job description.
Listen,
I'm telling you, I went up there and they told me, got the call on the radio, like go to like the 16th green. They said there's a snake on the green. I was like, okay, and went up there and it was like a just massive cottonmouth curled up on the green. I'm like, oh Lord. I'm like, that's a big water moccasin. Here's take a thing and shoot it until it moves on off into the creek.
And it's just when you try to shoot it just sits there and opens its mouth up and you're like, oh, no, thank you. Yep. I will like golfing down at the beach and the Gulf. I'll go near an alligator.
Yeah.
Like I'll do it. I'll go near an alligator. I know that thing can run at me and then like it can go pretty quick, but like I'll get near it. I won't go near a snake. Yeah. I'll be the one to call it's like, hey, there's a snake over here. Come get it.
I think it's the unpredictability of the movement.
Yeah.
Like you never know when they're going to like coil up and they'll just go at
That's why you pick it up with something extremely long and walk it off the course and dump it.
When the python invasion first started in like South Florida and the Everglades, all that stuff that started, I was irrationally scared that it was going to come and spread up into South Alabama.
I mean,
and my parents and my dad specifically kept saying, no, it gets too cold up here in the winter for them to like be like survive. I was still like, oh.
Well, now the crazy thing is we were in the Tampa area for SEC Media Days and there has been reports of it getting up towards that Orlando Tampa area coming up from Miami. So they are kind of coming north.
Don't tell me that.
That's going to ruin Brooks' day.
But see, but also because I mean, they were like, there's no way that an alligator would be getting up here into Central or North Alabama. I don't know. They see alligators on Lake Wheeler up in far North Alabama.
Dang it.
There's alligators up there.
I was going to say they're going to evolve a little bit, like it may not happen over the course of a year, but like they're going to be able to.
Well, I mean, it's not like there's a fence between Florida and Alabama and the snakes and alligators like, oh, well, no, can't go into Alabama.
There's this invisible line. I just can feel it. I can't go past
it. I can't go into the state of Alabama. I just need to stay here in Florida. Like,
I just need more snow days up here so that it can like get them.
Deter them.
Yeah, deter them. You know what I've been irrationally scared of here that I did not have to deal with at home was copperheads. We don't really have copperheads down in Baldwin County because we got rattlesnakes, we have cottonmouths, we got coral snakes down there. But like copperheads we don't have that many copperheads, and I've always just been irrationally scared.
That's like the absolute most common venomous snake around here. That especially us as a fire department, we go out on bites with. It's almost always copperheads.
See, and that's why I'm irrationally scared.
Yeah,
maybe not irrational
because I mean I hate to say copperheads are everywhere. They kind of are. I mean, you can find a copperhead just about anywhere.
Yeah,
in these parts.
I got to stop hitting in the trees.
Yeah.
I got to keep it in the fairway on the golf course because that new 9 they've carved out back behind the greens. Like it's funny. It's so open, but then there's this one clump of trees. It's like a huge circle. You actually walk through it between holes, and I don't even know what's in there. It's not long. I mean, the patch of trees you're talking about probably goes. I know it's going to be horrible for those that cannot understand our parking lot or know our building, but like from the window of our building to maybe the end of the building, like just the building, like that's how long the trees are. They're not long, but they're also way wide, a little wider than that. And I just know there's stuff in there, and I don't
A lot of leaf clutter on the ground.
Yeah,
there's cottonmouths there, or copperheads there.
Good, great news.
And they don't
will be
warn you,
avoiding.
right? They don't have a rattle or anything. They're not. They've got.
They will shake their tail in the leaf clutter to mimic the sound of a rattlesnake, just like a cottonmouth. Actually, every snake out there will mimic that sound. They will, in leaf clutter, they'll wiggle their tail.
What do you mean by
fast.
okay? What do you exactly mean by leaf clutter?
Like leaves on the ground, and
I don't know. I don't know if I've stared at that in particular. There's a lot of there's a lot of dirt mostly.
Right.
I mean, I think there are leaves on the ground. I don't know that they're.
Cluttering?
I don't know. I'm gonna need more guidance in this issue. I'll get back to you.
I can just tell you, because I've been out there. I've been out there before, and I know the lay of the land.
Yeah.
I can tell you, just because there are rocks, and there's places that copperheads will be, and copperheads are just so abundant and common that there's gonna be copperheads out there. That's just, it's a given.
Great news for those in the market for a lovely encounter.
Did y'all?
Watch where you step.
My mom is listening, and she sent me yesterday. They sent a video that there's an old dog pen on our property that we don't really use anymore. There was a 5 foot long rat snake skin they found in there. So they're
apparently eating some rats already.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's I can show the chat now, or the video. And she also sent, I don't know if you guys saw, I saw this earlier. James Spann retweeted us, the alligator that was settled in the middle of the road in Fairhope.
Oh yeah.
Just kind of like walked in, and he's just like, all right, I'm just going to sit here for a while. So there's the James Spann retweeting it.
I did have an alligator encounter on a golf course in Pensacola, Lost Key. I don't know if it was technically Pensacola, but
close enough.
I had one in Eufaula.
Dad and I were over, like I had not hit a horrible shot. Just for the record, I want everyone to know I was not over in the trees.
We weren't alligator hunting.
Okay, we were on the first cut of rough. Okay, but you didn't have much rough to the left until it dropped off into a pond, tight hole. Well, get over. Oh, I'm 40 yards from the green. Here, gonna have a pitch shot. Not gonna be too bad. Don't hit too long. Water onto the back. Water on the left. And out of the corner of my eye, I see this large mass, and it's an alligator just chilling about 5 yards from the edge of the rough, so maybe 7 or 8 yards from where I'd walked away from. And I'm like, that's way too close, way too close. So I told Dad, I'm like, watch the alligator. If it moves a muscle, we're leaving. I'm gonna hit this shot.
That's right.
We're gonna hit it, and we're gonna go up to the green. It was not my favorite moment, but hey,
I've had Blaine watch a gator at the Gulf State Park before for me. When I hit a
yes,
shot.
you told me that recently.
I had one at Lake Point Resort at Eufaula, and anybody that's ever done any sort of fishing around Lake Point there in Eufaula, there's alligators all over the place. I mean, that's just
That's
kind of
it. That's where they are.
just kind of the normal thing. But I had hit a shot kind of off to the right of the fairway. It went like right up on the edge of the water. There was the part of the lake was kind of down there. It was like this flat, low area below the fairway. And I'm just walking along. I see my ball, and I'm happy day, do, walking on down to my ball and look over to the right. And I was like, oh, yep, there's an alligator, and you can have that ball. I'm not messing with it. It was, I don't know, 15 yards from where my ball came to rest. And I'm just, walking to my ball, looked over, and I was like, yep, there's an alligator, and I'm not going to play that shot. I'll figure it out.
And again, I said 7 or 8, maybe it's 13, 14 yards, maybe 7 or 8 is a little too close, but let's call it between 7 and 15 yards. And, in hindsight, not a great idea.
Sure.
They're faster than you want to give them credit for, out of land, but it was not really staring at us. It was just kind of chilling. And, anyway,
who was the PGA Tour golfer at the Zurich Classic that just walked up and like tapped the gator on the back on the tail, and it shot in the water?
I don't remember who it was, but I know
he just like casually walked up, hands in pockets, reached down and tapped it on its tail.
Well, because the golfer ahead of him was walking up and didn't see it until he got right up on it. And when he realized it, he like stumbled over backwards, like trying to get away from it. And then the next guy came up and just kind of tapped him and sent him off flying into the water. So
you never know.
All this talk from a guy that a kid, I don't want to say a guy, but a high school player with a cotton mouth in his helmet for over an hour and had no idea.
Absolute nightmare field.
That is crazy.
We're going to take our first time out here of the 4 o'clock hour. When we come back, we'll head back to the Sports Call phone line. You're listening or watching the Tuesday edition of Sports Call on Tiger 95.9.
Do you want to join our conversation? Tweet us your thoughts on Twitter at SportsCallAU.
Weather brought to you by Auburn University Credit Union. Tiger Rewards checking at Auburn University Credit Union gives you the tools to manage your credit, monitor for fraud, telehealth services, loan discounts, and more. Visit myaucu.org for more details. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
High temperatures today into the low to mid 90s. We will see mostly sunny skies. Again, the typical afternoon summer setup with a few spots getting wet. About 20% of the area seeing a scattered shower or thunderstorm. Lows into the mid 70s overnight, and tomorrow the really exact same thing. Highs in the low 90s. We'll see mostly sunny skies except for a few scattered showers and thunderstorms, and lows again into the mid 70s. I'm Ryan Lavoie for your Tiger Communications weather update.
On Saturdays, we all wear orange and blue, but every day, Auburn University Credit Union is proud to serve the people who make this community strong. Whether you're opening your first account, buying your first car, planning for your future, or growing your business, we're here for every chapter, because at Auburn University Credit Union, you're more than a customer. You're a member. You're an owner. Your family. Auburn University Credit Union, rooted in Auburn, committed to you. To learn more, visit myaucu.org. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal Opportunity Lender. NMLS number 530633.
Hey everybody, this is Brandon Maxwell with Fairway Auto Brokers. Back to school deals are here and you deserve a new ride. With over 150 of the finest pre-owned vehicles in stock, we make car buying fun and easy for the whole family. As Lee County's #1 place to buy a pre-owned vehicle, come see why Fairway is the difference. Visit us at www.fab-auto.com or stop by today at 1777 East Glen Avenue in Auburn, Alabama.
Life can get hectic. That's why Progressive provides claim support 24/7, 365 days a year, all the time. But not like in a desperate way. We're not just waiting online for you to talk to us or waiting by the phone. I mean, we are waiting by the phone, but not like staring at it. Well, now I am. I'm staring at it. The point is, Progressive claim support is here for you 24/7 in a totally chill, normal way. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, not available in all states or situations.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
Looking for a new fitness home? Look no further than Tiger Iron Gym in Auburn. Our fitness area spans over 20,000 square feet, providing ample space for all your workout needs. Featuring an AstroTurf training area, an extensive range of cardio equipment that will get your heart pumping, and we are one of the largest 24-hour free weight gyms in America. Worried about parking? Don't. We have you covered with tons of parking spaces so you can focus on your workout. And we are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year to fit your busy schedule. Plus, we're locally owned and operated, not some big corporate gym. And you can experience all of this for just $29.99 a month with no contract. Join us today and take charge charge of your fitness goals. Tiger Iron Gym, South College Street in Auburn.
Hi, I'm Darren with Master Graphics and Light and Screen Printing. At Master Graphics, we can help you take your event or company promotion to the next level with custom apparel screen printed right here in Auburn. We have a huge selection of brands like Comfort Colors, Gildan, and Bella Canvas. And at Master Graphics, you work with our in-house artists to bring your vision to life. Let our team help make your business, school event, or family gathering a success with custom apparel from Master Graphics. Stop by and see us today at 175 South Gay Street or give us a call at 887-8755.
The Rape Counselors of East Alabama provide free and confidential services to survivors of sexual assault, their family, and friends, and to provide sexual assault prevention education. The RCEA also offers financial assistance to survivors with out-of-pocket expenses that aren't covered by Alabama crime victims' compensation. All funds collected directly assist survivors to help with the healing process as well as other community and recovery needs. To learn more, go to rapecounselorsofeastalabama.com. The RCEA is seeking donations for the Auburn Assault Victim Fund. If you would like to donate, visit GoFundMe.com/Auburn Victim Fund.
I'm Trevon Reed, former Auburn Tiger football player, national champion. You're listening to Sports Call on Tiger 95.9.
Welcome back. This is the Tuesday edition of Sports Call, Tiger 95.9, the Tiger.fm, and the Tiger Communications app. Brian Lavoie, Brooks Childress, and Tom Peavy with you here today. Also streaming live, YouTube and Facebook. Come hang out with us at Sports Call Auburn there. All right, let's get to the Sports Call phone line again, 334-887-3401. Locally or toll-free 1-888-9. Tiger 9 next up today.
Ward Dam Steve.
Retired Ward Dam Steve joins us. Steve, how are you doing today?
Well, guys, let's just get to it. It's think about. But look, I just want to first, it's going to be a short call. I'm waiting for a phone call from AT&T. You know how they are. If you don't answer the phone, good luck.
Sure.
So I may have to just interrupt our call. But anyway, I've been banned apparently from the internet by AT&T again. I want to first say I apologize for lambasting you guys yesterday, especially you, Tom. It's just guys that I'm tired of. I want this program to not be where people say, well, the floor this season for this program is 3. I want it to be like no worse than 7, and that's where I'm coming from. Okay. Now, having said that, I hope you guys don't have any ill will towards what I did yesterday on my tirade. I also want to let you know, in that meal offer, I want you to go hog wild. So you're going to be also including in that meal dessert and any drink you want.
Yeah, we're getting that milkshake. We got to win 10 games, though. We yes.
It has to be 10 games.
It has
That's
to be
right.
done. Yep.
That's what I'm going with. And so I'm going full entree, okay? I'm not holding back. So that's it.
There we go.
And I'm heading up to the LSU game with my daughter. So if I can maybe come in and see you guys, I want to give you all guys a hug and maybe rub your head for good luck if you're there, Tom.
Hey, that's fine with me.
Yeah,
right.
we love to see you, though. We'd love to see you.
But please, no anacondas are waiting to attack me at the door. Okay?
No, Brooks wouldn't be here if there was any snakes in the
absolutely
building.
not.
Okay. Speaking of that, were you talking about the newest anaconda with Jack Black in it?
Yes. Well, I was more so when I first asked him, referring to the original from the mid '90s, the horror movie, and then
that was a horror,
right? And then I also was.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys. It's AT&T. I've got to let you go.
I got you.
All right. Talk to you tomorrow.
Yep. Live radio there. That was Steve hanging out for a moment. Well, but yeah, I was referring to the second one at the end there.
Now that I know that
Black.
the second one, the newer one of Jack Black and Paul Rudd, is not as comedic as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, like
I don't think I'll indulge in that either.
Okay, I'm about to spoil a movie. If you've not seen it and you would like to, please do not listen to the next 90 seconds of Sports Call. You have been warned. All right. The thing about it is that, okay, it's Jack Black and Paul Rudd, and they're funny actors. And so when they're running from it, they're doing funny things. And like Jack Black fakes his own or doesn't fake his death. I don't even know what it was. He acted dead, was dead. I don't know. So it's funny, but it's still a huge anaconda that is actively trying to eat them in a non-cartoon way. So it's like if Anaconda from the 90s, instead of having really intense John Voight, and I know Owen Wilson was in it. He's usually a comedic actor more times than not, and had J-Lo in it, had Ice Cube, whatever. But that didn't have jokes and laughs. It felt like this was jokes and laughs with a Anaconda that was causing problems.
I was trying to see if I could find it. I think it's categorized. You Google it, it's categorized as an action/comedy.
Yeah.
So
I mean, again, it's not like a bunch of there was a jump scare, but I mean, it's not main horror. But again, if you don't like snakes, that movie's not going to help you with that at all.
Right. I just scrolled down too far and I found an actual anaconda picture.
Oh.
It was one where it's like it was just sitting there in like the bushes staring at the camera. I'm like, oh god.
Well, we know how you ever need to break Brooks's attention now is send him a picture of a snake and that.
Ooh.
See, yeah, he takes
like
the
him.
cake for that.
I don't
Yeah,
like him.
We can tell. We can tell.
Yeah, it's Rattlesnake Hill at Phoenix Raceway, right? This is the mountain that's like right next to it.
Oh, yes.
Never catch me up there.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't think I would be there anyway. All right, so we could do Snake Power Hour for another half hour here,
Please no.
but we'll change topics here. Mentioned Jackson Coyven yesterday. Tom did that in the best and worst of the weekend. Tea Times came out just a little while ago. He's going to be playing by himself, so that's fun. One of the golfer now, Chris Berger, is that his first name? I don't know, but Berger or Berger. No, Daniel Berger. Daniel Berger. I'll get there eventually. Daniel Berger withdrew, so there's going to be 69 participants. And Coyven, since he was the last FedEx Cup point getter to get in, they're doing it by order of where you are. So he's going off by himself first two rounds. We were talking a little bit about off air. Do you like that or not? I think it really depends on the golfer. Me personally, I would love that. This is dumb, and I was never this will never be a thought for a PGA Tour player. I'm prefacing this. This is what I'm about to say is never a thought. But when I was playing in high school on the team, when I played in these little Dixie Junior Tour events, and I'm shooting upper 80s or low 90s, you still hit a couple shots here and there. They're really bad, just awful. You thin one that goes 30 yards too far with a wedge, or you even top one, that goes 50 yards period, needed to go 150. Like you still do those things when you're only shooting 90 from time to time. And so when you do that around people, it'd be embarrassing. They think I've sucked. They've never played with me. Look at this awful drive on the first hole that just went 40 yards left. Stuff like that. Now that wouldn't happen on the PGA Tour, but what I think is the professional version of that is when you hit a bad shot, do you like to then talk about it with someone else? Joke, oh, that was sucked. Or do you like to go in mentally and say, okay, what was the problem with my swing there? What needs to happen the next time I swing that club? That sort of thing. That kind of gets into who you are, what your philosophy is.
That also usually goes with your caddy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm saying, sometimes if you're playing with a buddy,
right?
Because a lot of them are on tour,
right?
You could be joking, walking out the fairway, like, man, I really bladed that one,
right?
Or you're to yourself or to your caddy, and you're talking about, a realistic way to fix that swing, and you're ignoring the other person's existence.
Yeah.
So it would depend on kind of which one of you are you there, and also for pace of play, do you like to play fast or slow? Because if you like to play fast and you're by yourself, There is no one. You're your own captain there. If you're playing slow, you could get sped up a little bit by the fact that it's only you out there. Like, oh, I guess it's already my turn.
Yeah. There are a lot of pros to playing by yourself. The one negative to playing by yourself is on the green. If you have a chance to read a putt from your playing partner, that happens a lot where they, you position yourself where you can watch the guy that's putting ahead of you and you can watch the break and see what their putt does. You see that many times where a golfer hits second and he'll watch a putt and he'll come up and he'll hit just slightly off from where that one went and make the putt that guy missed. So Jackson won't have that. He won't be able to read somebody else's putt. It's going to be his putt and his putt only, and that's it. So, kind of a negative there. But, as far as the overall round playing by yourself, most of those guys, when they get in, especially in tournament time, they get to play, they don't talk to anybody except their caddy. There may be some that kind of, cut up with their playing partners or whatever, but most of the time they are so focused, locked in that the only conversation they have is with them and their caddy, and that's it. They'll talk to their playing partner after the round, but during the round, there's not a lot of talk going on between them.
I'll also say this is you go from playing on tour where every week you are paired up with somebody and sometimes three people, depending on which tournaments you're playing. If you then get shoved into a tournament play where you're by yourself, you may get to a point where you need, not need, but you may crave that, hey, I'm competing here. This is a competition, and I like to, measure myself against who I'm playing against. Like, I want to beat this guy. You may think of it as I'm playing against this guy. And if that, maybe a little bit of that competitive juice goes away because you're like, well, I'm just out here by myself. Maybe you're not hitting as crisp of a shot because there's not anybody pushing you. Even though the guy next to you may be, 5 strokes back of you, 5 strokes ahead of you or whatever, like you may not even be like contending with this person in the overall ratings, but you're contending with them there on the course. When you are playing in the group, if you take some of that competitiveness away, it may affect you a little bit. I'm not saying this is Jackson, but if you go from playing with, groups all the time to, hey, now you're out here by yourself, you may get a little lax. You may be like, well, there's nobody out here pushing me. So
feels like a practice round and you lose a little bit of the feel.
Right.
The only thing though, which is a good thing for counteracting that, is that Jackson's already been drawing pretty big crowds.
True.
And being able to already have won on the tour, the interest in him is pretty high right now. Across the board. I mean, it was so high, like they interviewed him after both his Saturday and Sunday round on CBS, and he was not in the mix for the win, especially not when he came off tied 29th or whatever Sunday. So, I think that will help the tournament feel, but it is just so odd because you're always, every tournament setting, you're used to playing with somebody.
Even on some practice rounds, there's a lot of times that guys will go out on practice rounds in groups because it's like you keep that feel.
100%, 100%. So I can see a little, bit of the oddities. The bottom line is it probably will not affect anything about what Jackson does. It's kind of good fodder, but again, he'll be able to finish so much quicker on day one because he will not be behind a soul. So the timing there, that part of it, again, that's what I'm saying with how you like to play, how fast or slow. If you are a slow player, but you're by yourself, you could be going faster than you mean to. And to be fair, you can take all the time you want because there's no one else around. But I'm just saying that usually you're used to the other person reading their putt, then hitting their putt. Used to the other person measuring the wind, figuring out what club to hit. And all of a sudden, you're just kind of on the clock right there. Yeah. And you're like, oh, well, I guess I got to go ahead. So it'd be easy to feel like you're rushing or to feel like this is odd pace. Why is this going so fast? Am I even thinking through this right? Well, it's just because you don't have someone else there with you doing the exact same thing. So it's a little bit of an interesting dynamic for sure, but
it's going to be an interesting challenge for his caddy to keep it kind of like try to make sure that he feels
normal.
Yeah.
But Jackson again has done a tremendous job to get to this point. Tom, you were saying yesterday 5 or 6 tournaments, whatever it was, to qualify for the FedEx Cup, and second quickest ever behind Tiger. Tiger had 2 different seasons. First all-time was Tiger, and then tied for second is now Jackson Coyven and Tiger in terms of least events to qualify for the FedEx Cup playoffs. Jackson will need a huge week this week. I will go ahead and say that. We'll remind you of the fact Thursday when they get going. But I believe it is I guess you term it like worst possible finishing position to be able to advance. And because he is 70th, I believe it is tied 7th for Coyven. Like Jackson Coyven can't advance unless he at least finishes tied 7th. There's no mathematical way he'd move up over enough people, because they'll cut 20. So they'll go down to 50 for tournament 2 and then 30 for tournament 3. So to get in that top 50, he has to finish at least tied 7th. No other pathway. And then, of course, if he finishes tied 7th, tied 6th, something like that, that's still going to be pretty good odds he does not move on. So really, you got to root for a top 5 this week and some help, unless he wins the thing. If he wins the thing, then he'll go through. But got to at least have a top 5 this week if you want to see Jackson move on to the second round of the FedEx Cup playoffs. But again, a heck of an accomplishment to make it in the first place on such a short season. All right, let's take another timeout. One more timeout in hour number 2. You're listening to the Tuesday edition of Sports Call on Tiger 95.9.
Looking for another way to listen to our show? Be sure to download the Tiger Communications app and listen to Sports Call wherever you go.
It's heating up at Suns Ford in Auburn with the hottest sale of the year. Now's the time to save big on a huge selection of new Ford trucks, SUVs, and cars. Whether you're looking for a rugged F-150, a family-friendly Explorer, or a fuel-efficient Escape, you'll find incredible deals waiting for you. Don't let these summer savings pass you by. Visit Suns Ford in Auburn today or shop online at sunsford.com and pick the Ford you've been wanting at a price you'll love. Suns Ford in Auburn, where the hottest deals of the year are happening now.
TK's Convenience Stores, your gotta-have headquarters. Those things you just gotta have, but don't have time to waste in one of those huge pack stores. Nope, at TK's, we have your gotta-have items with no hassle, along with great customer service, high-quality items, and clean stores. So whether you need a 6-pack of your favorite beverage, milk, gasoline, or some cash from the ATM, TK's has it just minutes from you. TK's Convenience Stores, now with 17 locations to better serve you. Always there when you need us.
Looking for a new fitness home? Look no further than Tiger Iron Gym in Auburn. Our fitness area spans over 20,000 square feet, providing ample space for all your workout needs. Featuring an AstroTurf training area, an extensive range of cardio equipment that will get your heart pumping, and we are one of the largest 24-hour free weight gyms in America. Worried about parking? Don't. We have you covered with tons of parking spaces so you can focus on your workout. And we are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year to fit your busy schedule. Plus, we're locally owned and operated, not some big corporate gym. And you can experience all of this for just $29.99 a month with no contract. Join us today and take charge of your fitness goals. Tiger Iron Gym, South College Street in Auburn.
Some beers are made to blend in. Blue Moon Belgian White was brewed to stand out. Crafted with Valencia orange peel for a bright citrus taste and a smooth, refreshing finish, it's the perfect way to elevate any occasion. Served best with an orange garnish, every sip brings out its signature flavor. Whether you're unwinding after work or gathering with friends, reach for something a little brighter. Blue Moon Belgian White. Made brighter, please enjoy responsibly.
I'm Deshaun Davis, former Auburn Tigers football player and all SEC linebacker. You're listening to Sports Call on Tiger 95.9.
Welcome back. This is the Tuesday edition of Sports Call, Tiger 95.9, the Tiger.fm, and the Tiger Communications app. Ryan, Brooks, and Tom with you here. Again, 5 o'clock hour. We're going to get into our preview of Tennessee today. But first, let's go back to the Sports Call phone line.
Ward Dam Steve.
And retired Ward Dam Steve has concluded his phone call with AT&T. Steve, welcome back.
Yes, those people are, well, they're not as accommodating as you people are. But anyway, hey, just you know, I'm a legal offender, okay, Tom? So I had a few bones to pick with them.
All right.
All right. So the reason I call back, guys, is real quickly, the Anaconda with Jack Black. Has anybody seen it? Is it worth watching?
Yeah, I saw it. You know, it's fine if you're really into Jack Black stuff. Then you know it's up that same alley. You know, there's a few laughs, but you know it had a few moments that were still semi terrifying. Like I don't want to say awful. You know, not like I know you watch a lot of horror movies, Steve. So like I do, and so I'm not saying it's quite all the way like that, but it's also not like oh they're just gonna funny haha the whole time. There's a few like oh my gosh. So. It's fine. I'm not going to tell you it's a home run, but it's watchable.
Okay, so it's not slapstick comedy.
No. I mean, you know, again, there's. I mean, it's still as much a comedy as it is anything. But
okay, all right. So the other reason I really call back real quickly is I saw this from On3, and so thankfully I saved it so I can get a look at it without the internet. And it's from a gentleman called Zach Herbstreit. Now the only Zach I know is Zach. Was it Blackberry? What's his name?
Blackerby, yeah.
Yeah, Blackerby, yeah. But are you guys familiar with Zach Herbstreit?
Yeah, that's Kirk Herbstreit's son. Yeah.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, he's made his predictions. I saw it on 3. Have you read his predictions for the national champions and college football playoff teams that he has?
I have not.
Okay. So here's who he, spoiler alert, here's who he has going into the college playoff semifinals. I'll be real quick. He has number 9, according to him, Texas playing Ohio State and Texas winning. Then he has number 3, Miami beating Oregon. And for the national championship, he has Miami beating Texas. What do you guys think?
Yeah, you know, Miami is so interesting because Darian Mensah, their quarterback now, I think is really, really good. He led Duke last year, and he's different than Carson Beck, but I think there's a world he's better. I mean, I think they're a similar caliber. They're just very different styles. Cristobal finally got over some humps last year. I mean, heck, they went to the national title game. That's a heck of a season. So I do think Miami's going to the playoff. I do think they're winning the ACC. And, you know, Texas, I mean, they have the expectations like no one's business this year. And so Texas needs to make a deep playoff run or they will feel like they have underwhelmed. So I think that's perfectly reasonable. I don't know if I've landed on my exact predictions yet. I need to here in the next week or two, but that's a reasonable prediction.
So he says here that it looks like he thinks Darian Mensah will outdo Manny. What do you think?
Yeah, I like Mensah a lot, man. Like I remember when he went to Duke out from Tulane, I was like, man, I and not to disparage Duke, they did actually win the ACC last year, but I was like, he went to Duke. No one bigger wanted Darian Mensah. I was surprised by that at the time. I'd watched him at Tulane, and I thought he was really onto something. And you know, he did a great job at Duke last year. They didn't lose 5 games because of him. I promise you that they were giving up a bunch of points in those games that they lost. So I like Mensah a lot. And with Arch Manning, you know, we saw a better version of him in the second half of last year, but there's still part of me is like, well, how real was that? Did the competition just get a little bit easier for them? Is it real? Will they know how to distribute the ball properly this year? So, you know, I think they're definitely names worth watching this year.
All right. Well, I just thought I'd let you see what this individual. I didn't even know he was Kirk Herbstreit. I said Herbstreit sounds the same, but doesn't mean they. I didn't want to assume that they were related just because he had the same name. So thanks for educating about that.
Yep.
All right, guys. I will go ahead and say thanks for your time. And my time again is up. So until next time, y'all have a safe afternoon and evening, and War Eagle, guys.
War Eagle, Steve, and best of luck with AT&T. That is Retire Ward MC joining us on the Sports Call phone line. Got a couple minutes left in the hour, but we'll run with that for one more moment. We've talked a lot of Texas. We'll get there again. Well, I don't know which day it'll be, but in the event that neither of you are on or one of you are on, I mean, we have talked about their expectations, and I mean, I don't know, what would you deem a failure season for them or a disappointing season for them? Because again, to preface this, there are legitimate people out there that would say anything less than the title would be disappointing.
I would say anything less than making the title game. I think that anything less than making the title game, if they could do that, if they can at least get to the game and have a chance, then okay. But if they don't make the championship game, then with everything that they have built for this year, because you're going to lose Cam Coleman most likely.
Yep.
You're going to lose Hollywood, I think.
Yep. Hollywood Smothers. Arch Manning.
You're going to lose Arch. I mean, you're losing.
Yeah, this is
it. It's like this is the year that you're supposed to do it. And so I think anything, I wouldn't go as far as title or bust, but I think you at least have to be in the title game.
Yeah, I'm around there. I either think you have to make the title game or make the semifinals. I think somewhere around there. I think it really depends on, what production you're getting from guys. Because, last year we went into the season and it's like, man, maybe not us here, but the media in general went into the season. It's the Arch Manning Heisman race, and everybody else is just running in behind him. And then Ohio State game hit, and you're like, well, there goes the week one. It's over. And, it's so things can happen. You never know who you're going to run into in the playoffs either. Remember a couple years ago, they made the playoffs, went in deep run, and Arizona State almost got them.
Yeah.
And it was a very, very fun game up in Atlanta, but Arizona State almost got them in that. And was that a quarterfinal game? That was a quarterfinal game.
Well, and you're talking about, these teams with Miami and Oregon, although one team that was not even mentioned in there. Listen, Notre Dame is going to be really good this year.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Notre Dame is going to be.
They will be in the playoff.
They will be in the playoff, and they will be in the talk of a deep run. So, watch out for that, because that's the type of team that could derail Texas somewhere along the way there.
And so, what if they run into that team in the semifinals? What if it's Texas and Notre Dame in the semifinal game? And would you blame them if they didn't make the title game and losing to that Notre Dame team? If everything goes according to the same thing,
Rational people know. But is everyone rational in college football?
Especially not oil money Texas people
Right.
rational. So I think for me personally, I'm all along the same lines, but I think if, depending on who they run into, I think I wouldn't be totally dismissive of them if they made the semifinal, if it was just semifinals for playoff. But I think it's got to be a deep playoff run.
The dumb thing is, we got only about 30 seconds left, but the dumb thing is, I would like to say as like a olive branch, like if you win the SEC championship game and then lose in the semifinal, okay, like that's you took a trophy home. But then part of me is going to be like, the Texas people use that to say, well, you won the SEC. How could you not win the national championship? Where was that?
Because you think about it, you probably run into a Georgia there in that SEC championship game. You beat that Georgia team. You couldn't win a national title. Pack your bags, Sark. We'll go find somebody else. Lincoln Riley, come over to the SEC.
The discourse is all that, and then yet they were still, by the way, not voted to win said conference. They were not voted to win the SEC over Georgia. But again, it's a huge year for them. And again, I the Miami side of it, again, I like teams that have very easy access. And unfortunately, wherever you fall on it, Miami has, I think, easy access to the playoff this season, unless something out of the ACC is unforeseen. But we're out of time for hour number 2 of the program. Coming up in hour number 3, back into the SEC, though. We preview number 8 in the preseason SEC media poll, the Tennessee Volunteers. That's up next on the Tuesday edition of Sports Call, Tiger 95.9.
2 hours of Sports Call are finished. Don't touch that radio dial. We've got one more hour to go.
Keeping your money in a traditional savings account is like using the Yellow Pages instead of Google. Outdated and slow. Skip the small, slow returns and put your money to work with the Max Elevate Money Market. You get all the same security of a savings account, plus the ability to earn even more on your money. Get started at mymax.com/elevate or call us at 260-2600. Certain restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
Looking to put the cherry on top of the perfect meal? Honey Baked Ham in Opelika has you covered with desserts that are almost too good to share. From our rich cinnamon and blueberry coffee cakes to southern pecan, apple caramel walnut, and more, our pies are pure comfort in every bite. And if cakes are your thing, we've got coconut, triple chocolate, and of course, a classic red velvet that'll make you wish every day was dessert day. There's no better way to finish your meal than with a sweet treat from Honey Baked Ham. Come get yours today. Located at 1451 Gateway Drive in Opelika.
Looking for great deals while supporting a great cause? Visit Lifesavers Mission Thrift Store, conveniently located on East University behind Zaxby's. We're open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 until 5 with a huge selection of furniture, clothing for the whole family, books, home decor, and so much more. Have items to donate? We'll gladly accept donations at the back of the store from 10 until 4. Shop, donate, and make a difference at Lifesavers Mission Thrift Store, where every purchase helps change lives.
Every day, we power homes and businesses in our communities, but we also power something else: bright futures for our youth. We visit classrooms to speak on topics ranging from career opportunities to leadership skills, and we help make college possible by providing scholarships to deserving students. Bright futures are ahead, and we help make it happen. Brought to you by Tallapoosa River Electric Cooperative.
Are you looking to buy or sell land in the Southeast? Southeastern Land Group is here for you. With over 20 years of experience, we specialize in farms, ranches, timberland, hunting properties, and recreational land. Whether you're a seasoned investor or a first-time buyer, our expert team offers personalized service every step of the way. From listing to closing, we make the process simple and smooth. Ready to make your move? Visit selandgroup.com and find your perfect piece of land today. Southeastern Land Group, your trusted partner in land sales.
When the game is on the line, heroes rise, and off the field, real heroes deserve their moment too. Game Day for Heroes is all about giving back, providing unforgettable game day experiences to the brave men and women who've served our great nation. It's more than just tickets. It's about saving lives, restoring families, building tomorrow, and honoring our heroes. You can help make a difference. For more information or to donate tickets, visit GameDayForHeroes.org. Game Day for Heroes, because those who serve deserve a game day they'll never forget. At Mid-South Bank, we're your problem solver and financial advisor. Managing your money can be challenging. The good news is you don't have to go it alone. You have a friend in us. No matter what your financial status, we're here to help you do what's best for you. Come in today at 519 East Glen Avenue or visit bankmidsouth.com to find out what the friendliest, most helpful bank in town can do for you. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
For lower maintenance, for higher performance, for spending less over time, and getting more right now, for finding new places, and for getting lost along the way, for point A to point B, and every point in between. For whatever drives you, there's an electric vehicle that requires less maintenance and travels up to 300 miles on one charge. Learn more at driveelectricalabama.com.
Sponsored by ADECA, the ABA, and this station.
On Saturdays, we all wear orange and blue. But every day, Auburn University Credit Union is proud to serve the people who make this community strong. Whether you're opening your first account, buying your first car, planning for your future, or growing your business, we're here for every chapter. Because at Auburn University Credit Union, you're more than a customer. You're a member. You're an owner. Your family. Auburn University Credit Union. Rooted in Auburn. Committed to you. To learn more, visit myaucu.org. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal Opportunity Lender. NMLS number 530633.
You're listening to Sports Call on Tiger 95.9 FM, WTGZ Tuskegee, Auburn.
This is the Tiger Communications Sports Report brought to you by Auburn University Credit Union. I'm Jack Meyer. Back in April, 7 members of the Auburn equestrian team combined for 9 area All-American honors from the National Collegiate Equestrian Association. The 9 recognitions are the most by any school in the NCAA this year. 4 Tigers were honored in horsemanship, while 3 jumping seat riders combined for 4 All-American recognitions. Junior Avery Glenn and freshman Caroline Olson secured All-American honors in both fences and flat. Sophomore Ariana Morell was named honorable mention in fences. The horsemanship squad had 4 Tigers earn All-American recognition in Caroline Fredenberg, Brooke Jolstad, Lexia Tordoff, and Sydney Swallam. The Atlanta Braves once again held firm in the latest edition of the MLB Power Rankings from ESPN. Atlanta stayed in 3rd position for another week following a run that saw the Braves sweep the Nationals in 4 games and the Marlins in 3. Atlanta remains behind the Dodgers and Brewers, who also stayed in their same positions. Atlanta is still the top team in the NL East, ahead of the Phillies, who fell 1 spot this week to the 8th position. And in the action on the diamond last night, the Atlanta Braves fell to the New York Mets by the score of 8-5. New York would jump out early as Bo Bichette would single a run in the first inning, followed a few batters later by Brett Batty hitting a grand slam. Atlanta would respond immediately in the bottom of the first as Mauricio Dubon would single in 2 runs. Then in the second inning, the Mets would put the run on the board. They would need to outlast the Braves with Jared Young at the plate.
And Jared pulls that one into right field. That's a base hit. Lindor around third. He'll come in to score. It's followed by Acuna, but Young will stay at first base. His second hit of the night produces a run, and it's 6-2 New York. There it is, just on fire. 3 hits yesterday, 2 more hits in the first 2 innings today.
That audio courtesy of SNY. Francisco Lindor would homer in the 3rd to extend the lead. Then the Braves would try to rally. In the 4th, Drake Baldwin would single a run, followed by Ronald Acuna Jr. during the same. Mike Harris would score on a wild pitch in the 5th, but that would be all Atlanta could muster. Young would drive in 1 more via a sacrifice fly in the 9th to seal it for the Mets. The Braves and Mets meet again tonight, and you can hear all the action on AM 1230 WAUD. I'm Jack Mark, and this has been your Tiger Communications Sports Report brought to you by Auburn University Credit Union.
Auburn University Credit Union is partnered with Care Humane Society for the AUCU CARES debit card. It's free to you, and each time you swipe the card, AUCU makes a donation on your behalf. It's a win-win. For more information, visit myaucu.org. AUCU is federally insured by the NCUA and an equal opportunity lender.
You're listening to Sports Call on Tiger 95.9 FM, WTGZ Tuskegee, Auburn. Whether you're leaving work, cruising around town, or listening on demand, we've still got some fun left for you. To be part of the show, give us a call at 334-887-3401 locally or toll free at 1-888-9-TIGER-9. Auburn's first and Auburn's favorite sports talk show has been on the air since 1995 and is ready for 60 more minutes of fun. Now, let's get this hour of Sports Call started.
Third and final hour of Sports Call here on Tiger 95.9, the Tiger.fm, the Tiger Communications app, and streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. You can watch the program now. We're doing it each and every day in our Auburn Bank studios here. And Brooks just took a nice, refreshing sip of cherry float Coke.
That's right.
And not quite as good as cherry vanilla, he says, but pretty close.
Pretty close. A game you can play if you watch us on the stream every single day is how often Brooks repeats hats on the stream. Because I tell you what, I'll go ahead and spoil something. It doesn't happen often.
Seldom. Yeah. And also I want someone needs to do a tracker, the Mountain Dew tracker for Tom, and like let's get a real count of like over a sample size of 30 or 40 days.
You mean indescript green soda tracker?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's red.
Some indescript soda tracker.
Yeah. He's got the Dirty Dew soda today.
Yeah, I'm going dirty.
I think you went regular yesterday.
I had the OG yesterday, went dirty today.
Tomorrow feels either Baja Blast or Code Red.
Ooh, probably Baja Blast.
Okay.
I think you should surprise us and go like Maui, something like that Maui.
I'd have to go
Baja Maui.
I'd have to go find it.
Well,
and again, when's the last time you had a voltage?
Don't know. But see, they're not my favorite though.
But see, but then every once in a while, you need to just like reestablish where it stands.
Yeah,
with you, you know?
just make sure. Yeah, baseline.
I'm gonna try to work that into the psyche so the next one of the next couple of weeks you bring one in.
How long until the Halloween one comes out?
I don't know.
Because it's not
we've not
Voodoo.
had a new one to try in months and months.
Because it's
been very
not Voodoo
disappointing.
anymore. They stopped doing the Voodoo ones.
Yeah.
They're actually
Voodoo.
they're like actually like teaming up and like saying what it is now. Because like last year was the trolley, right?
Yeah.
So
that was not good.
it was not great.
It was not good.
Yeah.
Well, because they only did zero sugar.
It was only zero sugar.
That's
And it
what
was like,
That's right. Yeah.
because they're like, oh, we're gonna make it actually a candy, so we're gonna make it zero sugar to not like kill everybody. I was like, well, some of us want to live on the edge.
Maybe some need to be really one foot in the American Family Care and 1 foot out.
We need to know what it
So-
tastes like. Like if you, it's just
Yeah. So I'm just saying there was a stretch where Tom brought in probably, I don't want to exaggerate too much, but maybe 4 or 5 Mountain Dews in like a 9 to 12 month period.
It was.
And I don't think he's brought a new one in about 8 or 9 months now.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's been one in 2026. I
I feel like they did like the 3 variants on Baja that came out, and they were like, "This is it. We're gonna stop right here for a while. Like you're gonna enjoy our Baja stuff."
The one thing with Baja Blast that I have not been able to locate and I want to is the glass bottle Baja Blast.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know they did that.
I've never seen them in person. I've seen them online. I guess they are doing that one I told y'all about last week. The one where you can like,
the TikTok
yeah,
shop.
on TikTok shop.
Oh
that
yeah,
you'll
I still
get.
haven't done that.
We need to. I don't think it comes out till like tomorrow, maybe.
Hey, well,
So
remind Tom to do
Yeah,
it.
so tomorrow, Tom.
There is a fall flavor that's slated to come out.
Okay. Well, there's hope for us yet then. Should be in the next month or two. All right. So we'll now tell you if there's hope for the Tennessee Volunteers in 2026. They were picked preseason number 8 by the media in the SEC. And this is an important distinction again. I will say this today and I will say it tomorrow because once we start running 7 through 3, it is, again, a I don't want to say crapshoot, but I want to say that it's anyone's guess at that point in terms of everyone had something different and it was all very close. But this is the last spot that was not. So what I mean is that Tennessee, 1,320 points, okay, in 8th place. Oklahoma in 7th had 1,914. So Tennessee's almost 600 points shy of Oklahoma. And if they dropped 600 points, they'd be 13th because they'd be below Vanderbilt, just for some perspective. And 3rd through 7th, Ole Miss 3rd, Oklahoma 7th, separated by 90 points. So just giving you some instances there, what we mean by there's a big chasm in thinking starting at number 7 and working to number 3. And Tennessee is not a part of that at number 8. So looking at the Vols last year, 8-win ball club, as many SEC teams did, lose the bowl game to Illinois. So Brett Bielema, that's why he's talking far better at Illinois against SEC teams than he was when he was in the actual SEC. Go figure.
They now have the biggest scoreboard. in
Yes, they
college football.
do. Actually, that thing, I saw that.
Oh.
Against anyone can spend money now.
Yep.
That thing can. I think that thing can be seen from out of state. That is a huge scoreboard. If you have not looked it up, we can't really show it to you, although I guess Tom could stick it in front of the camera here in a second. But go look up Illinois' new scoreboard. It's massive. But we digress. The Vols, who have a big stadium as a whole, 8-win team in the regular season last year, they sustained a heartbreaking loss to Georgia early. Really had the Bulldogs there. Let it slip. Lost in overtime. Lost to Alabama on the road. Lost by 17. I think the game was a little closer, but the pick 6 before half really did them in there. Lost a really close game to Oklahoma again, and then lost to Vandy. Vandy put 45 on them. So Tennessee went 8-4. Josh Heupel entering year number 6, 45-20 with Tennessee, and a couple double-digit win seasons for the Vols. Like I think he's done a really quality job. Where are you guys at on Josh Heupel right now?
I mean, I think he's doing a better job than what they've had. I mean, he's doing fine. Now, obviously, they want more. I don't know that they're going to get that this year, but I mean, he's kind of getting them kind of up there for from what they've been doing. I mean, he's kind of got them rebuilt back. I have some questions about Tennessee for this season. This might be a drop for them a little bit, maybe.
Here's the thing: is you hit the nail on the head when you said it. He's got them to a point where they were better than what they were. I mean, after they got rid of Fulmer, they went into the woods and I guess fine. They went to the Smoky Mountains and didn't come out for 20 years. It felt like they were wandering around up there. You had Kiffin for a hot second, and he left them. They were mad about that. You went and you had Derek Dooley was a head coach in the SEC at Tennessee.
That was a disaster.
You went out and you got Jeremy Pruitt. You tried to hire Greg Schiano. The fans revolted, and you finally get somewhere where you've got Josh Heupel, and he's been working. You finally beat Bama. You finally beat Nick Saban a few years ago before he retired. You've got to that point where that feels like a competitive rivalry again, rather than it was the third Saturday scrimmage of October that it felt like Alabama would just go in and dominate. And so you've gotten back to a point where you are a competitive football team. Heck, you made it, what was it, 2024, they made the playoffs, and you lost to the eventual national champions in Ohio State. I mean, it's just, was that the year they won the national championship? Was that Michigan's year? Okay.
That was the first year of the 12-team playoff.
It was Michigan, Ohio State, and then Indiana.
Yep.
And so you lost the eventual national champions in Columbus on
the 8-9 game.
And so it's not like it's you have fallen. It's not like it's you were in a bad spot. I think the biggest thing for I kind of get it, but also you want to take that next step and be an SEC contender again. And contend for championships in the SEC again. But, I feel like there's some rattling around up there in the hills of Tennessee, the eastern hills of Tennessee, that some fans are already upset at them and want to move if they don't have a good year this year.
Let me pose this question to you guys, because I'm really intrigued by the answer to this. He's going into year 6 again, like I said, through 5 years, 45-20. If this was out Skolish's record after 5 years, would you take that? Yes or no?
46-20.
45-20.
45-20. Yeah, I would. Because
so you take the goal. You take this resume. This out Skolish 5 years in.
Because you've gotten them back to a point where they need to. Now again, need to start taking those next steps. But I wouldn't be rattled. I wouldn't say we need to be rattling around waiting for him to try to fire him immediately. Because we would get back. We've been back to the point, and I know we've had callers talk about this and we've talked about it. You can't be complacent. You can't get to an 8-win season and sitting on there and sitting consistently 8 wins, just 8 wins, and being complacent in this day and age of college football. But you can't, at the first sign of, hey, this could be an 8-win, you don't need to pull. I mean, we saw what happened when Auburn, got rid of Gus. Gus was doing fine, and then we went to Brian Harsin and Hugh Freeze, and that's where we find ourselves trying to come out of the desert here with Alex Golish. Yep. Tennessee doesn't need to do that again. Again, I think Josh Heupel does need to get them to a point where they are getting back to the playoffs. It was a year off. It was a year off from the playoffs. You went to the playoffs, you missed it. All right. I think that they're. I like it. We'll talk about the 2026 version of the Vols in just a bit, but I think the next step here again is getting back to playoff contention, but also get one against Georgia. If you get one against Georgia, you've got one against Bama for Heupel. You're competitive, and you're competitive with Alabama now. If you can get back to that point where you're competitive and knocking off Georgia every once in a while, I think that will calm people down.
That was the thing I was going to say is from looking at this. So in 2022, an 11-win season. That's great. 11-2. Take that.
That would have been a 12-team playoff team for the record.
Yeah.
We did not have the 12-team playoff.
You take that 23, a 9-win team. That's fine.
Yeah.
And then a 10-win season.
Yep. Made the playoff that year.
And you fall last year with 8-5, which you had the quarterback thing that happened that kind of really screwed everything up with that. It's like you almost can't blame him for that. So you got an 11-win season, a 10-win season, a 9-win season. I mean, but you can't get over that. You have not been able to get over that Georgia hump. And for a lot of Tennessee fans, that's a huge rivalry with Georgia.
Right.
Always has been, and they can't seem to get over the Georgia hump. They've gotten the 2 against Bama, so they've kind of got that monkey off their back, but they cannot beat Georgia. And so that's going to be an issue for them. And I almost, it's 8-5 last year, but I feel like they're still trying to rebuild that thing back.
Yeah. So a couple of things. One, again, I completely agree with you guys. I was a little worried that we'd say you would not take the 45-20.
No,
and
goodness.
I'm like, well, I need to pull out the last 5-year record for Auburn and show you how many more wins that would be.
Any coach here that can get me an 11-win season and a
Yeah.
10-win season,
Be a couple playoff appearances
and a 9 tucked in there.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, yes.
Absolutely. Yes, please.
But point number 2. So, you guys mentioned Georgia. We'll go ahead and say they do not play them this year. Now, last year, again, was the first time they really put their best foot forward, I thought, against Georgia. When you look through their seasons, Georgia had them figured out offensively. Year number 1 at Heupel, which was just the 7-win team, they lose 41-17. Okay, that's decisive. I think the best Heupel team, 2022, that's the Hendon Hooker chucking it down the field team.
Alex Golesh is the OC.
Yes. Last year of Golesh being the OC there. Good point. Tennessee averaged 46 points a game. They averaged 46 a game. They scored 13 in Athens. 2023 against Georgia, they scored 10. They lost 38-10. 2024 lost 31-17. Finally, last year, they put 41 on the board and had a shootout game with them.
Yeah.
But here's my point. And this has nothing to do with Tennessee, actually, as to the question, more so about Alex Golesh. It's a little concerning if you want to go down the road that style of offense has not bothered Kirby Smart.
Right.
Until last year. Because that's what Auburn's going to be running. And Georgia will see that as the way they have seen Tennessee's. Now, again, maybe Heupel's on to something. We know Golesh and Heupel, you always have variants and differences. We're not saying it's a complete 1-to-1, but it's the most similar thing on the market.
Sure.
It's I hope Golesh overtakes Heupel eventually, but right now Heupel is the Coke and Golesh is the Sam's Cola, and you've got that kind of offense as being the same type of thing. It's just Golesh is the newer version of it. Hopefully he becomes a superior version. He becomes the Coca-Cola of it. But the point is that Georgia was not bothered by that defense by that offense for the most part. So I am thinking aloud here, like wondering how that will translate in Auburn's matchups against Georgia, because it has not gone well for Tennessee. And again, like I said, even with the 46-point offense that Tennessee ran in 2022, they scored 13 against Georgia that year. So again, the good news is though, last year was a little different animal, and Georgia's not been quite the same horse the last couple of years that they were at the beginning of that streak. But back to Tennessee, to your guys' point, again, the Vols not beating Georgia. They have gotten a couple home games against Alabama. That goes back to Neyland this year. So that's another checkpoint for Tennessee, who's won 2 in a row against Alabama at Neyland. 2 very different games, by the way. The first one in 2022 was 52-49, and Tennessee had an incredible late drive there. And 2024 game was like in the mud, 24-17, like just kind of eking your way down the field. So I think with Tennessee's roster, we have danced around their quarterback issue, that they are looking at George McIntyre. They're looking at Faison Brandon, both young guys with really, again, very little experience. McIntyre, I think, got off 9 passes last year, and Faison's a freshman. So we'll see how their quarterback battle shakes out. It's not been determined yet. Heupel, we've trusted to run great offense. We've also trusted him to run really, really good rushing offense. Last year was down a little bit at 173 yards a game, but let's consider that 3 of the 4 years prior, Tennessee averaged more than 200 rushing yards a game, and the only year they did not, they averaged 199. So let's just call it 200 and move on. So we know they're going to run the football, and I like Deshaun Bishop, really good back, 1,000-yard back.
Yep, Deshaun's good.
Yep, 16. Nope. if I can read, 16 touchdowns last year. So they'll be able to run football, but their young QB, can he survive? What will they do defensively? Tennessee was making a lot of gains defensively from their first couple teams. And then last year, 29 points a game again.
Yeah.
Went right back to what they were when Heupel was first year. That was the knock on Heupel from UCF and coming to Tennessee is, we trust his offense. He'll figure that out. We don't know if he knows defense. We think he could be Lincoln Riley's Southeast version. And that has been mostly true. Not completely true, but mostly true. So I know, Tom, you've got to go here in a couple minutes. So what I'll go ahead and do, I'll ignore Brooks like the plague for a moment as he looks at it in the camera. Tom, exclusively to you.
Yeah.
Let me read the schedule. We'll go through the ceiling and floor. I won't give any input, but I'll read the schedule, give you a ceiling floor opportunity. So Tennessee starts with Furman. They go to Georgia Tech. Interesting non-con there. Host Kennesaw State. Then host Texas week 4. Welcome in Auburn week 5. Go to Arkansas week 6. Welcome in Alabama week 7. Then go to South Carolina. They are idle on Halloween, trick or treat. Week 9, or game number 9, I should say, is Kentucky for homecoming. Week 10, it's at Texas A&M, November the 14th. November 21st, host LSU. And November the 28th, of course, their yearly date with the Commodores of Vanderbilt. So give it all to me. Ceiling and floor. What you got?
So I can see their ceiling being 10-2.
Okay.
I mean, best case scenario, I can see them winning 10 games. I think floor is 7-5. You know, a game less than what they did last year. I look at the schedule. Furman's going to be a win at Georgia Tech. It seems tricky, but Georgia Tech they've lost players. They've lost the offensive coordinator. It's like I don't know that Georgia Tech's going to be as good. So I'll give them a win there. Kennesaw is going to be a win. Texas is a loss. Auburn, I think, could be a little tricky for them. I've always said that I could see Auburn going in there and upsetting Tennessee, and that being the one that really puts Auburn on the map. So, potential. So let's see, Furman, Georgia Tech, Kennesaw State. I'm going to give Arkansas a win. I'm going to give South Carolina a win, Kentucky a win. And then floor, you're looking at Vanderbilt. And then the rest, that would be their floor. The 10, you take care of Auburn, Arkansas, you get a win over Alabama again in Knoxville, South Carolina, Kentucky, at Vanderbilt could be a win, take another one somewhere along the way, 10, sure. And that puts them in that position to be a playoff team. I'm going 10-2 for ceiling, 7-5, a floor. I honestly think this team's probably going to finish 8-5 again.
Okay.
I see
like 8-4 with a bowl loss.
8-4, yeah, 8-4 with a bowl game loss. I'm going to go with 8 wins. I'm really concerned with them at quarterback. Because that's what derailed them last year was issues at quarterback, and they haven't figured the quarterback situation out right now either.
But Aguilar wasn't bad though.
No, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, but it. I
mean, he wasn't Hendon Hooker,
right?
But I thought he was as good as Nico.
It was. Well, I was going to say it wasn't Nico. I mean,
I thought he was as good as Nico.
Sure, but it just
Nico's not great.
Yeah,
Nico's very average. I know his name is long and his NIL budget was high, but Nico was not great.
Joey Aguilar was he was fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it just wasn't. I don't know. It just it felt like that the whole. Nico,
I'm just saying he threw 3,500 yards.
No, I get it.
So
it felt like things kind of derailed when they lost Nico to UCLA and they had to get Aguilar in there last second. And he threw for 35. I mean, he was fine. Obviously, they had other issues on the team, but it felt like the quarterback thing just kind of like it was gross right there trying to figure that out. And they stumbled their way to 8-5. Without the quarterback situation being ironed out right now, they got a good running back. They're going to run the ball. They've got a good receiver in Mike Matthews. I'm not sold that this Tennessee team is going to be all that great this year. but they could. That's why I'm putting the 10-2 there as the.
So 8-4 is still a potentially top 25 team back into the top 25.
Yeah, 8-4 is it's up there doing fine. I don't know that they're going to fully jump ahead of what they did last year.
Yeah. I mean, for the record, I voted them 8th, so I don't think they've got a boom season incoming at all. I'm just going down the road of thinking that I really think it's what you're trying to get at, and we got lost a little bit on where Joey Aguilar was. I'm saying their quarterback play could be worse than that.
Well, yeah.
And like they still averaged 40 points a game last year. Right. Their defense was the problem. Right. And Aguilar couldn't make a few like big time clutch throws, which would immortalize them, and they would have beaten Georgia, and they could beat Oklahoma. Then they've been 10-2, they've been in the playoffs, and lose to whoever. But when you're talking about replacing someone that was throwing for nearly 300 yards a game, like that's not automatic.
No.
And to the other side of it, they could bring in this kid and he'd be better. But I think that's the point is, the Nico stuff messed up their preseason or messed up their summer. But like they won that divorce because UCLA was awful. Nico didn't get paid. Nico turned out that he is very pedestrian. I was going to say he's not that good. And Tennessee got a little better quarterback play, I think. Right. I'll have to go find Nico's numbers from 2024, but I don't recall 3,600 yards. I could be wrong, but
and I'll say this here. I mentioned this a second ago, and it's part of kind of what I'm looking at with Auburn. I think Auburn goes into Neyland and wins.
Which is your difference in mine is the 7 versus 8.
And my whole thought about it is obviously that could change. I could see this Auburn team against Baylor and go, oop, nope. I could see them against Florida and go, nope. I'm backtracking.
Yeah. And Tennessee will play Texas the week before.
I mean, by the time those two play, I could completely be backtracking. But because it's the Golish versus Heupel. It's the same offense. It's the exact same offense. I mean, Heupel taught Golish this offense. But I like Auburn's quarterback right now in the system than what Tennessee has, at least on paper. I like the fact that Golish has so many of those weapons that know that system inside and out with a really good quarterback. And I think the defense is going to be enough to be able to slow down the exact same offense that they've been working with. So I think when you put those two coaches together, it's going to come down to the personnel. And I think Auburn's got a little bit better personnel when you're doing the exact same thing against each other. So I think Auburn goes into Neyland and wins that one, at least right now as we sit here on August the 11th and say that.
Yeah, but to be fair, you've said that since June, so you've not been backing off. That will do it for you, though, on the program today, sir.
Got to get to a meeting, guys.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you being here. We'll see you again tomorrow.
Oh, I'll be here.
Brooks Childress will continue on. He's waving into oblivion like an absolute goober, but we love him a lot. He will continue with me next for one long final segment. You're listening to the Tuesday edition of Sports Call on Tiger 95.9.
Want to know how easy it is to listen to our show? All you have to do with your Amazon smart device is say, Alexa, play Sports Call Auburn.
Weather brought to you by Auburn University Credit Union. Looking for the best credit card rate in town? The rate on Auburn University Credit Union's MasterCard starts at 7.9% APR. That's right, 7.9% APR. For more information or to apply, visit one of their 3 locations or myaucu.org. Annual percentage rate. Auburn University Credit Union is an equal opportunity lender.
High temperatures today into the low to mid 90s. We will see mostly sunny skies. Again, the typical afternoon summer setup with a few spots getting wet. About 20% of the area seeing a scattered shower or thunderstorm. Lows into the mid 70s overnight, and tomorrow the really exact same thing. Highs in the low 90s. We'll see mostly sunny skies except for a few scattered showers and thunderstorms, and lows again into the mid 70s. I'm Ryan Lavoie for your Tiger Communications weather update.
Frederick Dean Funeral Home and Crematory is here for you when you need us. With locations in Lee, Chambers, and Tallapoosa counties, serving the people of East Alabama and West Georgia since 1900. A family-owned and operated business, skip the hassle of the big corporate mortuaries. Our kind, compassionate team members are standing by to assist your family in the hardest of times. An on-site crematory, private cemetery, and a choice of facilities makes Frederick Dean unique. Visit us at frederickdean.com.
Hey Auburn, why stress about dinner tonight? Just cruise down South College Street and roll through the drive-thru at Waldo's Chicken and Beer. Grab the Feed the Flock meal. Yeah, we're talking 12 crispy tenders, warm cheesy biscuits, fresh coleslaw, and not one, but 2 delicious sides. Mac and cheese, collards, wedges, you pick your groove. And don't forget, 6 sauces to mix, match, and dunk your way to flavor heaven. Skip the cooking, feed the whole crew, and keep your night smooth. Waldo's Chicken and Beer, South College Street in Auburn. Drive through and dig in.
You say you'd never give in to a meltdown and never fill your feed with kid photos. You say you'd never put a pacifier in your mouth to clean it and never let them run wild through the grocery store. So when you say you'd never let them get into a car without you there, no, it can happen. 1 in 4 hot car deaths happen when a kid gets into an unlocked car and can't get out. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA, Children's of Alabama, and the ABA.
The Atlanta Falcons are back in the hunt for a playoff berth, and you can come along for the ride. Tune in to your exclusive home in East Alabama for the Falcons. Tiger 95.9 all season long for all the hard-hitting action.
Still looking left, checks it back across the middle, intercepted on the backside. Jesse Bates, 20, 15, 10, 5, house call. Touchdown Atlanta. Jesse Bates has a pick six.
This new-look team has their eyes set on the playoffs, and you don't want to miss a single second of the action.
And here goes Bijan Robinson, 30, 35, 40, midfield. It's a foot race. Robinson, 30, 15, 10, 5, house call. Are you serious? Oh, my goodness. He just went 93.
For a complete schedule of broadcasts, make sure to visit our website, thetiger.fm.
Snap spot. It is good. Fly home safely. Atlanta wins.
It's another action-packed season of Atlanta Falcons football on Tiger 95.9.
Brought to you locally by Ken Dry of East Alabama, Coca-Cola, Fairway Auto Brokers, the Honey Baked Ham Company, Jimmy's Car Stereo, and Miller Lite.
Looking for a new fitness home? Look no further than Tiger Iron Gym in Auburn. Our fitness area spans over 20,000 square feet, providing ample space for all your workout needs. Featuring an AstroTurf training area, an extensive range of cardio equipment that will get your heart pumping, and we are one of the largest 24-hour free weight gyms in America. Worried about parking? Don't. We have you covered with tons of parking spaces so you can focus on your workout. And we are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year to fit your busy schedule. Plus, we're locally owned and operated, not some big corporate gym. And you can experience all of this for just $29.99 a month with no contract. Join us today and take charge of your fitness goals. Tiger Iron Gym, South College Street in Auburn.
Hey everybody, this is Brandon Maxwell with Fairway Auto Brokers. Back to school deals are here and you deserve a new ride. With over 150 of the finest pre-owned vehicles in stock, we make car buying fun and easy for the whole family. As Lee County's #1 place to buy a pre-owned vehicle, come see why Fairway is the difference. Visit us at www.fab-auto.com or stop by today at 1777 East Glen Avenue in Auburn, Alabama.
You remember the burgers, you remember the buns, you even remember the ice, but you forgot the beer? Rookie mistake. Save the cookout by showing up with Blue Moon Belgian White. Its crisp, refreshing taste with Valencia orange peel and that iconic orange garnish turns an oops into an awesome. Because when the beer's this good, people tend to forget what you forgot in the first place. Blue Moon Belgian White, made brighter. Please enjoy responsibly.
We all know Jimmy's Car Stereo in Auburn has you covered when it comes to car stereos, accessories, and expert installation. But did you know Jimmy's is also your go-to spot for ATV and UTV gear? They've got 32-inch sassies, 3,500, 4,500, and 6,000-pound winches, belts, lighting, whips, laser lights, side mirrors, bumpers, phone holders, and rear mirrors. So whether you're upgrading your ride, decking out your ATV or UTV, or adding audio to your boat, Jimmy's has the gear and the know-how to make it happen. Jimmy's Car Stereo in Auburn. If it rolls, rides, or floats, Jimmy's makes it sound better.
We're done paying the bills. Now back to Sports Call on Tiger 95.9.
Welcome back. This is the Tuesday edition of Sports Call on Tiger 95.9, the Tiger.fm, and the Tiger Communications app. Ryan Lavoie and Brooks Childress here to finish things up on, again, this Tuesday afternoon. Tom Peavy was here for the first 2.5 hours, but had to take care of some business, and so he is
not company business.
Not company business. Well,
not our company
important business for him, yeah, but not business for us. So he'll be back tomorrow, and we'll
miss him dearly in the meantime.
Sure. All right, so back to Tennessee. I did want to provide a little bit more context for Faison Brandon because, again, he is vying for the position with George McIntyre. Faison Brandon was the number 3 quarterback in the previous recruiting class. So he is a true freshman, and you never know if they can go win the job or not. But this is a highly touted guy. It's not just some dude that is being thrust into a battle prematurely. If you are a 5-star quarterback, number 3 QB in the class, you have a puncher's chance of being ready day one. You do. And so we'll see. We'll see what Tennessee ends up going with. But again, I just wanted to go down that road of, like, again, Joey Aguilar was not bad. Like, he really was not. And I feel like, that probably, I think they're still comparing everyone to Hendon Hooker to a degree. And they probably should do that because, again, a 46-point offense is insane. They had a 40-point game offense last year. And, 10 interceptions is a little high. You in the college game, you really want to be about 5 or 6, like one every other game. But, looking at Nico's numbers, I confirmed it. So Nico, when he was at Tennessee, so he had cut down. Let's compare it to Aguilar. I know stats are not everything, but we all saw the games, and you guys know what I'm talking about. Nico was not some revelation compared to Aguilar. Nico at Tennessee, 19 TDs to 5 picks. Again, Aguilar was 24-10. So you could give a small advantage to Nico. The TD to INT ratio is better. 63.8% completion percentage, 2,616 yards. So Aguilar threw for nearly 1,000 more yards and completed 4% more of his passes. He was over 67%. So, I mean, look, when you compare that with the eye test, I don't think that Tennessee lost anything there. And then obviously Nico last year at UCLA, he was under 2,000 yards as a passer. 13 TDs to 7 picks. UCLA was not a good team at all. So I don't think that ruined them. I really don't. I'm not saying Aguilar was their first choice. Obviously, Nico was still intended to be. They were trying to develop him. He was a 5-star prospect, yada, yada, yada. But, I thought that they handled that fine. All right, so time for ceiling and floor for me and Brooks. Tom went a floor of 7 wins and a ceiling of 10 wins, ultimately saying the Vols would go 8-4. To remind you of the schedule, again, they host Furman, at Georgia Tech, host Kennesaw State, host Texas, host Auburn, at Arkansas, host Alabama, at South Carolina, bye week on Halloween. November the 7th, they host Kentucky, then at Texas A&M, host LSU, and at Vanderbilt. Brooks, start with your floor, would you?
My floor, you said Tom was 7, right?
Yes.
I'm a lot more pessimistic on the floor than he is.
Good.
I'm going to say 4 wins is their floor. Here's my reasoning. I'm looking at this schedule. I think they get Furman, Kennesaw State easily. That's an FCS squad in Kennesaw State. Sorry, Owls. I think they get those 2 easily. I think also they can win, even if their worst team, the way that we are looking at these teams this year, I think they can beat Arkansas and they can beat Kentucky, at least. I think there's their 4. Georgia Tech, I know they've lost, Haynes King's no longer there. The, new offensive coordinator, but Brent Key's still a really good coach. I feel like they are on a good track. They may not be an ACC contender, but, middle of the conference, I still think that they're good. And it's at Bobby Dodd Stadium. And so you've got to go to Atlanta to play that game. Texas, I think it's easy to see how they could lose that game. I think if Auburn comes out the gate really good, as you guys mentioned, Tom mentioned it, it's a game that Auburn could go up to Neyland Stadium and get a win. If South Carolina, or I'll backtrack a second, Alabama, I think we can see how they could lose that game. That's an Alabama team that went to the playoff last year. Depending on how they, what shakes out with quarterback and how they look, I think that there's a realistic way to see they lose that game. South Carolina, that's my, I've been picking out games that in other times that we've done and the other teams that I've done where I'm like, this team is voted toward the bottom, but if they have a really good start to the year or they've got a really good year, like Mississippi State, there's been a few teams that I've said, Mississippi State gets going. We saw a little bit of it last year. They can threaten you. They can get in there. So South Carolina on the road at Williams-Brice, I think we mentioned it when we talked about South Carolina. That's a dangerous place to play, no matter how good or bad they are. So that could see them on a bad year losing there. At Texas A&M, I could see them losing that one. If LSU is really good going up to Neyland Stadium, wouldn't you know, Lane Kiffin, wouldn't you love it for him? Like, not wouldn't we love it for him, but wouldn't he love it to go to Neyland Stadium and get that win in another return to Neyland with a different team? And then at Vanderbilt, if Vanderbilt is, if they don't take a nosedive this year after losing Diego Pavia, it's in Nashville. I see a realistic possibility that if they are in at least decent, and Tennessee's on the bad year, they could get that win too. So I think my floor 4-8 right now for this team.
Wow. What a chasm. I wish Tom was around for that, because that's one of the bigger chasms on a floor.
I'll go ahead and give you a spoiler. There's a large upswing to my ceiling too.
Yeah. Well, he had 10-2. I don't know if you can beat that. But I'm going 5-7. So I guess I'm closer to you than Tom. I think, though, that reasonably Tennessee is still going to beat somebody in that group. Like, I think as we move in the middle of this league, there's certain barriers where Tennessee's just going to be too good to do blank. And especially when we get tomorrow to number 7 and we go 3 through 7, there's going to be teams that, sure, will still have 4 or 5 win variants. But it's not because it's 4 to 8 wins. It'll be because it's like 6 to 11 wins. And someone will go in the 6-6 or 7-5 category, and someone will get all the way up to 10 wins or more and be a playoff team. Because you're not going to have just 2 playoff teams out of the SEC. And 9-3 is not guaranteeing you anything. So we'll get to that here in the coming days. But, I think that the 5-7, the 2 games we're still talking about, Furman, Kennesaw State. I think Kentucky and Arkansas. Arkansas that's just you this year. And, Tennessee gets Kentucky at home, so you feel good about that. And then if you're grouping the next bit of games, like I think between at Georgia Tech and host Auburn and South Carolina and Vandy, I just can't see them losing all those games. Sure, maybe they lose all those road games, but then they beat Auburn. Or maybe they beat Georgia Tech early and fall apart the rest of the year. But I just don't think that they, when we get to these really good leagues and we get to the better teams in the league, I treat them a lot like NFL teams. I'm like, I can't promise you it's this game or that game or that game, but you'll find one. Like even the Jets will win a couple football games. They're not better than the teams they beat unless they play the Titans or something, but they'll beat somebody and they'll probably win a divisional game. Well, because the Dolphins exist. Not the sidebar, but is there a bigger chasm between 2 and 3 in a division this year? Like you have the Patriots and Bills that are both not shocked to be in the Super Bowl. Dolphins and Jets would be shocked to be 500. Just absolute shock if they get to 500. So anyway.
Yes, good. Excellent.
All right. So I've got a 4 or 5. You got a 4 or 4. What's your ceiling?
That's what I was trying to add up here. I think I wanted to be, I wanted, when I teased I was going to be really bullish.
Yeah.
But I started to keep looking at the schedule. I kept looking at it. I was really close, folks, to going 11-1. But I think I'm going to have to pull it back and say my ceiling for them is 10-2, like Tom. Because I think that, you reel off those first 3. Let's say this is a really good Tennessee team. You get Auburn, you get Arkansas, get South Carolina, Kentucky, Vanderbilt. I think that a really good Tennessee team, if they get the quarterback situation figured out, I really like their offensive line this year. I love as you guys mentioned, I love their running back, Deshaun Bishop. I think I've actually put him, if I remember correctly, I put him as one of my all SEC preseason running backs when I voted. I really like him. But a really good Tennessee team, I think, can beat LSU. And then it comes down to that Texas A&M, Alabama, and Texas. And if Texas is what they're supposed to be, a team that's contending for a national title, I think that they could get one of the Alabama or Texas A&M. Alabama, I would lean more that way, not because I'm an Auburn fan, but because that's in Neyland.
Oh, that's because they won 2 in a row.
That's true.
Yeah.
And so I think that game in Texas or against Texas, I know it's also in Neyland, but again, a national championship contending team, and then go to Texas A&M. Marcel Reed, I think, is a phenomenal quarterback. And so I think that my ceiling ultimately would be 10-2 for this team.
Yeah, no, again, they've won 2 in a row at home. And as I explained earlier, I mean, those 2 games against Alabama were very different. Winning an incredibly high-scoring game, winning a fairly low-scoring game. So, back in Bryant-Denny, it would be a different story. They've not won there in a long time, but in Neyland, certainly reasonable. I think 10-2 is the right ceiling for Tennessee. I agree with you guys. I think that, let's group the games again NFL style. Texas, Alabama, A&M, and LSU. I don't think Tennessee will be so darn good that they can win all those games. And also because I don't even think it's quarterback reductionary. Like, yeah. I think that even like let's live in the world where Faison Brandon is the number 3 quarterback prospect and damn, he's good. Okay, this defense gave up 28.5 points a game last year, nearly 29 points. I don't expect that to be an 18-point-a-game defense this year. They're still going to give up 20-plus points a game. And there will be somebody that they will run into that their offense is a little underwhelming, or they turn the ball over and their defense can't cover for them. So they will, even in the best world that Tennessee lives in, that will happen once, and that will probably happen twice. So, is it Texas? I think that's a good chance, but at least it's in Tennessee. Is it Alabama? Well, decent chance, but at least it's in Neyland. At A&M, like that feels probably like a loss, to be honest with you. And then they host LSU, and again, I think Tennessee and Ole Miss fans can bond over something. Ole Miss fans have the chance to do what Tennessee fans have already done and thrown things at Lane Kiffin on the sideline. So I think that they are still very impassioned in that type of environment. So I think they can get 2 of those 4 in their best case scenario. But they live in reality. So in reality, what is Tennessee's record this year?
Man, Tom went right there at 8 wins, like they did last year.
I thought he went. No, yeah, he did 8. And yeah, you're right, he did 8.
I'm glad you confirmed it because I was like, oh no, did
7 was his floor, 10 was his ceiling, win 8. Yes, he did. So he threw me off because he said 8 and 5.
That's true.
I was like, I don't know what you mean by that. 7 and 5 or 8 4. Yeah.
I think my realistic thought on this Tennessee team this year is 9 and 3.
Okay.
I think that they can win most of these games and then get one of the combination of Alabama, Texas A&M, or LSU. One of those teams I think they can beat. The other 3 I think they lose to. And it's and especially the Texas one, I'm like, I just don't know if anybody outside of Georgia is going to beat that team this year. Oklahoma, maybe, because that's always the Red River shootout up there in Dallas. But I think this Tennessee team could, as long as they've got the quarterback play, as long as they've got a good cast of characters around that quarterback, whoever it is, I think that they can win 9 games this year.
I'm going to go 8 and 4. I picked them 8th in the league. That implies 5 and 4 in the SEC. I do think they beat Georgia Tech. Now, I did not mention this in the last segment. I meant to with Tom still here. Do you remember who Georgia Tech's quarterback is this year?
I don't.
Alberto Mendoza.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
In all likelihood. So that we'll see if lightning strikes twice. Georgia Tech certainly. But I mean, I'm not resigned to thinking that can't work. And I think Brent Key's doing a heck of a job. And I don't think it's just Haynes King. I think Haynes King embodied what they were trying to do, be very physical, not afraid, make up for some deficiencies in talent. But that does not mean that can't continue with Alberto Mendoza transferred there also. So, I think Tennessee will still get that done, but I think it's a fair test. In other words, I'm not writing off Georgia Tech as some bad team this year. I think going to their place in week 2 is intriguing. But I think that they lose to Texas. I have been on record saying they beat Auburn because Tom has Auburn with 8 wins beating Tennessee. I have Auburn with 7 wins losing Tennessee. This is the game of decision in terms of differences for me and Tom. But so I have Tennessee winning that one, but I have them losing to Texas. I have them losing to A&M and LSU, and then losing to either Alabama or South Carolina. I think if they beat Alabama, they get fat and happy, go into go into Williams-Brice and mess up, or they just straight up lose to Alabama at home, and Alabama gets one on them finally. But again, in Neyland. But I think that, it's going to be a decent team. It's going to be the type of team, though, that Tennessee people feel has something left to be desired and gets them still chattering in the offseason, not near anything enough to make a move or anything, but something to be chattering about in the offseason. So I go 8-4 for the Vols in 2026, which puts them on the periphery of the top 25. That is going to do it for our program here this afternoon. Brooks Childers, thank you for being here, sir. We will talk to you again later this week.
I'll be here.
That does it for us here on this Tuesday edition of the program. A big thank you, as always, to all those that tuned in and called in. Again, whether you tuned in on the radio, Tiger 95.9, the Tiger.fm, the Tiger Communications app, or if you watch us live on YouTube and Facebook, we certainly appreciate it. But again, that will do it for us on this Tuesday. For Tom Peavy and Brooks Childers, my name is Ryan LeBoy. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, and we will talk to you again tomorrow.
TK's Convenience Stores are your one-stop shop from Auburn to the Lake and Tallahassee to Tuskegee. Offering friendly service and a clean environment, there is sure to be a TK's located near you. Stop by on your way to and from work or school and pick up everything you need, from beer, soft drinks, and fresh hot coffee to food, snacks, and ice cream. Plus, automotive and household products, pet food, and an ATM in every store. Just look for the orange and blue Starburst sign and stop by your local TK store today. TK's Convenience Stores, they're your one-stop shop.
In a world meant for everyone, what if you built a career just for you? A construction career offers new possibilities and the freedom to create your next adventure. A construction career brings new puzzles and exciting challenges every day. One made from your own blueprint, where no 2 days are the same, because the right fit isn't found. It's custom built. Custom build your career at GoBuildAlabama.com. Sponsored by the Alabama Construction Recruitment Institute, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Looking for great deals while supporting a great cause? Visit Lifesavers Mission Thrift Store, conveniently located on East University behind Zaxby's. We're open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 until 5 with a huge selection of furniture, clothing for the whole family, books, home decor, and so much more. Have items to donate? We'll gladly accept donations at the back of the store from 10 until 4. Shop, donate, and make a difference at Lifesavers Mission Thrift Store, where every purchase helps change lives.
Whether it's enjoying a night in with good friends and close family or having some fun in the great outdoors, don't forget to grab an ice-cold Coca-Cola from one of your 17 local TK's convenience stores. Every sip of an ice-cold refreshing Coke helps make whatever you are doing memorable. With a variety of options to choose from, TK's has a Coke for every occasion. So don't forget to stop by any one of your local 17 TK stores today and pick up an ice-cold Coca-Cola.
The summer heat is here, and the best way to make sure you stay cool all season long is to give May Refrigeration a call. When your AC goes out or needs maintenance, May Refrigeration's technicians are trained and equipped to handle anything that comes their way. And don't forget, it's never a bad time to get your heating system checked, especially when you aren't using it. Give May Refrigeration a call today at 745-COLD. That's 745-COLD. So for quality customer service that you can count on every time, May Refrigeration, proudly serving the Auburn and Opelika area.
From the very beginning in 1907, Auburn Bank's mission has been to promote our community, see businesses flourish, and improve the livelihoods of local citizens. We have operated a simple and straightforward business model built on a foundation of sound business decisions and a caring response. Our local team stands ready to discuss your financial needs and goals. Auburn Bank, champions of you. Member FDIC. Online at auburnbank.com.
TK's convenience stores have a brand new look. That's right. Look for the red, white, and blue. It's Arco, American-owned top-tier gasoline, now at select TK's locations. Need great gas at a great price? TK's and Arco have you covered with the best price gas in town. American-made fuel for you and your family. So roll into your neighborhood TK's today, where TK's and Arco are as American as apple pie.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. until 10 a.m.